Gonna be up crying. Were we on live when I said that?
Yep.
Hey, choo Night Train in the house. Hey, hello. Midwest Jones, flying with Stan. Lloyd Mendenhall is going to be with us soon. I sent the link. I hope I sent it Facebook. We have, let's see. Yes, let's see. And Furball Kim, who is now crying because his servers are down for Battlefield 1. Sorry to hear that, Kim. Hey, Centroid, how you doing? Drone Epic 1, how you doing? Oh, this is, oh, Nature's Beauty. Russ, how you doing? Okay, hold on. I'm going to go see a channel because I can and see. Oh, you have. Okay, Epic One. Oh, New York skyline. Oh, beautiful. Yes. Okay. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and mod you. Hey, Rick. How are you? Okay, Kaiser, I know I have modded you on this channel, so I don't know what's happening. So sorry. Hey, old guy in the drone, how you doing? John DiNardo. Hi. Glynesis, how are you? We are waiting for the Grumpy Vlogger with the new way in which I sent the link. Do you have his his email, Roger? Yeah.
Well, he said he'd be there in a minute.
Okay. Okay, then I'm not going to worry. I'm going to assume, this is not always a good thing for me, that I did it okay.
I'm going to make a coffee. I'll be right back, everybody.
Oh, yeah, go get a coffee, Roger. Go get a coffee. My Alexa isn't home yet, so I don't have a coffee. So, Kim, what are you going to do all night now that your game's done? You going to come on and listen to the interview? Is that what you're telling me? Because I would love that. Oh, why is this not charging? Charge. There we go. Hey, Russ, how are you? Oh, here we go. I'm like in a mousetrap every time I plug my phone in. Rick Halpert. Night Train. Okay, we're just waiting for Lloyd. Okay, so I'm just going to start drinking my drinks and try. By the way, I just saw a blade of grass from my lawn. It's dead, but it proves there is ground under the snow. Oh my God. Ooh, Gremlin. Hi, Gremlin. How you doing? I am going to go and get you modded because I love your name, Gremlin. Hey, Lloyd. Hi, Gremlin.
I made it. Can you hear me?
I am going to go and get you modded because I love your name, Gremlin. Hey, Lloyd. Hi,
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, good.
But I think you have your YouTube on. Hey, Lloyd. So you got to find.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, good.
So I can't. But I think you have your YouTube on. Hey, Lloyd. So you got to find.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Okay, so Lloyd.
Okay, good.
So
I can't hear you yet, so here. There we go. All right.
Okay, so Lloyd.
Technology drives me nuts. Can't hear you yet, so here. There we go. All right. Now, I'm not even seeing what you're saying now. Okay. Technology drives me nuts.
Okay, so Lloyd, you have to turn your YouTube. Mute YouTube.
There we go. Oh, all right. I'm not even seeing what you're saying now. Okay.
No. I was
Yeah,
going down to the circles of hell. Okay.
All right, we ready? Did I get that? Did I got everything set up? Let's see.
You got a bit of an echo with your voice.
Let me
from here.
Yeah, let me roll back my sound. How's that? Any better?
Yeah. There we go.
All right.
Still a bit of an echo. It's almost like you're in an echo chamber. Thank you, Joan Epic One. I think I already have you, but I'll check.
How about now? Did that get rid of it?
Right,
No.
still got it.
Huh? It still got it?
Yeah, I still got it. Yeah.
Well, I don't understand it because it's the same thing I always use. Let's see.
It's pretty good. It's almost not there, just there.
Yeah. Let me see if. Let me check. Let me check my sounds. Okay, here we go. Is that any better?
Nope. Still there.
No, still there.
Still there. Yeah.
Lloyd, you must mute mic input in OBS.
I'm not using OBS.
What are you using, Lloyd?
I'm using vMix. This is the same thing I use on Roger's channel every day.
Yeah.
It looks really good.
Yeah, it's vMix. It's what Mel and I used to do our live streams with. And I'm not broadcasting through OBS. I'm just using this as an external and then going directly to but I'm also using a mixing board. But like I said, I haven't changed any of the settings, so reverb's off.
Yeah, we're just working a little bit because we got a bit of an echo, guys. Hey, so I'm gonna say hello really quick to everyone. Hey, Midwest Jones, Grumpy Vlogger, Gremlin, Russ, Mason Keyser. Hey, Clickbait Crisis in the House Records, Rodney Belgian at Pickering. And we have Drone Hub, we have Furball Kim, we have Above and Beyond, we have Night Train. I'm not going to forget about my Night Train. We have Glenn Assist. Let's see, Just Looking's in the house. Midwest Joan, Nature's Beauty. Paul Murray. Hey, Paul. Phantom Hodges Drone. Philly Drone Life. Rick Halper, Rodney Bell, Shane Specialized Paranormal. We have a lot of people in the house. And we got an echo.
Whoever doesn't have Above and Beyond, please check out his channel. He's only at 92 supporters. Let's get him over 100 tonight, guys. I know it's not my channel, but I hate seeing people under 100.
You know what, Roger? You just take over whenever you want. I think I have a be Above and Beyond, and I do. And so we'll just keep hoping that he is just going to go right up over 100. I think there are a lot of people in here. He's now at 93. So that's kind of how it works. Now I got to find where in the world I am. Oh, that's bad. Good. Okay, Lloyd, let's hear you.
I don't know what to do because I'd have to completely redo my whole studio.
Turn down your sound a little bit.
It sounds a lot better. Sounds a lot better, actually.
How's this? Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what I'm going to do, because I can't hear you, is say something again for me.
Something again for you.
Talk again. Don't make me come over there and smack the jujubes out of you.
There once was a man from Nantucket. No, wait a minute.
Okay. I upped your sound from my end, and I think we're good.
All right. Yeah. I don't know why. It must be something. See, you sound like you're kind of in an echoey room to me, too. So that's just, but we had, I don't know what's going on because I didn't change anything for when I was on Rogers. I don't know.
So what I know about this platform is we're never sure where it's coming from. So
right. Yeah.
You know, it just is. And I'm good if you're good.
Hey, I'm fine. I can hear you, so that's all that counts as long as I'm not driving everybody too.
Yeah, and here's Kim. Kim, just tuned in, right? Raise up your volume. Kim, don't make me come over there.
Kim, turn your friggin' headsets up.
So today, How come? Okay, hold on. Why is Rotordale hidden from Joshua Spur? What is that? Joshua Spur.
It's probably you wanted to support him and probably hit the wrong button. That happens.
I do that all the time. Can you give me about 30 seconds now that we've got things working just a little bit, so I can run in there and turn the volume up so my wife can watch this, because she wants to see how bad I make a fool of myself.
Sure.
Okay, no problem.
So I know you got Roger in here, so he can cover for me, and then you'll have my undivided attention then.
Okay.
So I'm kind of confused. I don't know Joshua Spur. So who
I don't know Joshua Spur, not neither.
Okay, guys. So really quick, because I'm just kind of confused and no one's saying, hey, I did it by accident. So I'm going to go in something really quick and fix this. Okay. Because I don't have a Joshua Spur in my.
Can you go on Rotordale's name and just unhide him?
No, it wasn't letting me do that, but I could do better than that.
Because Rotordale's a good guy. He's
Yeah, I love what he was doing. So yeah, we're not going to have him out. So I'm going to go up into here. Guys, I'm so sorry. Roger, can you do some talking for me for a minute?
Yeah. Rotordale, just say hi or something back in the chat. See if you can get back in. Okay. I unhid his messages there, so it should be working.
Okay.
Okay.
And give him a wrench as soon as he comes in, Val.
Huh?
Give him a wrench as soon as he comes in.
I will. I just need him. I didn't see him to begin with. That was the problem. And I don't understand who Joshua Spur is.
Yeah.
So I have to have him somewhere on here. And he can just say, if it was a mistake, just tell me. I'm cool with that. But I'm not okay with people hiding people on my channel. So if it was a mistake, that's okay. But if it wasn't, then you need to go. I think I can be clear about that, right?
Welcome back, Lloyd.
Yeah, I'm back. I don't know, man. Talking about sound being weird, now I can't get my iPad volume to work in my other office. But I mean, it works on the headsets, but it doesn't work. I want to say hi to Mike Roach, of course. Rodney Bell, you can't see it, but I'm wearing your shirt here, so. He and I have this competition going to see who's going to get to 1K first. I beat him to 500, but he is stomping my butt when it comes to getting to 1K. I think he's going to hit 600 well before I do if he hadn't done it already. Okay, so ask away, Val, whatever's on your mind.
Okay, so I went on your channel.
Yes.
And you absolutely were kind of like a little bit of a rock star when you first started 9 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I put up some really, I was playing with my sound system. I actually played in a band for about 5 years. The kind of band we were was we were called the bifocal band, so you can imagine we all wore bifocals, and we'd play at nursing homes and stuff. I think most of us were just checking out where we wanted to stay when we got a little older, but they let us in and they let us out, so that's what was important. But yeah, I've written a few songs, played guitar. I've been playing guitar for over 50 years. I still suck, but I've been playing for over 50 years.
I thought it was beautiful. I thought you did it excellent.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah.
I really did.
Yeah. I knew those videos were up there, and I knew you'd probably find them if anybody would. So that's no problem.
I did find them. And they were religious. Yes.
Yeah.
And they were beautiful. I mean, Okay, I'm so sorry, but he's got to stop.
That's all right.
He's probably lost in the grocery store. So that, yeah. My roommate gets lost in grocery stores.
Uh-oh.
She's lost with
Yeah.
driving. It's just part of the charm.
Yeah. I get lost in the grocery store too, so I feel for him.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to go back to the store. That's all. It's not that big a deal. So I think I subbed all in the chat. If I missed someone, okay. Well, that's very sweet of you. Hey, 400 mil. So while I was looking at him, I'm going to pull all this stuff up because I was really impressed with all the stuff. Here you are, little Grumpy, because I was going through everything I wanted to go through today. And
excuse me for a minute, Val. Please, everybody, we got 39 watching. We got 20 likes. So please hit that like button for Val. It'll really help our channel, guys. So
unless there's only 20 that like it. So so you had the Brokeback dance. You want to explain that to me? I mean, maybe just
okay. All right. You know, I've had a presence on the internet for over 20 years. I built my first website in 1997. We were a virtual.
Wow.
Well, we were a flight simulator group. That's how I got started in any of this, was through flight simulators. And we all flew military stuff. The guy that does my logos, this one up here, is Grant Smith, and he's one of the guys that flew with me. He flew flight simulators with me as part of my group. And eventually we got into first-person shooters and then World of Warcraft. And Judy, and when we got into first-person shooters and started running our own server, because back then you didn't have Xbox and stuff, you had servers that you built your PC. That was a server. You had another one. We had three computers running our house at one time. Well, anyways, the short version is, which is too late for that, but anyways, the short version is that young man that's dancing there was one of the guys that came on and belonged to our guild when we started out with first person shooters, and he still comes on my live streams. Now he's followed me on YouTube, Jim McDonald, and his cousin had filmed that video as when the Wii first came out, and she'd filmed it and put it up there. Okay. And I downloaded it. This is back when YouTube was really getting started. I downloaded it. The guy that wrote that song, which I've tried to give him credit, and he was a friend of my sister's, and she sent me a copy of that song, and that's where I got the song. I got it directly through him, through my sister, because she was, who is still alive, but she was in the entertainment industry for years, knew all sorts of people in that, and that's how I got that. And so to me, of course, Brokeback had just come out. I saw him doing that dance, and it's like it just all fell together. And I've got such a twisted sense of humor. And as he says in the comment in there, I had way too much time on my hands. So that's And eventually Willie Nelson does the song, and but Jim Venerable, I think, is the original singer that wrote it and recorded that. And like I said, I got the copy of it. And that was just making fun of one of the young men that used to play games with us. And after I put it up, I had to write him a letter and say, "I'll put your picture up there that your cousin did." And it's kind of, he just laughed it off. And but there's a bunch of guys we started. Some of these guys started playing with us when they were like 16 years old, and now they're in their 30s. So that's how long we've known some of them. Yeah.
So I was looking through all these, and I see your new drone with the SEMA, but what was the first drone you had?
Probably the SEMA 5 was the very first drone I had, and that's why it spent more time on its top and up in a tree and stuff like that. And I started with those, and I went to the SEMA 8, and I had a JJRC something or another. I've still got them. They're packed away somewhere. But I really didn't get into the drone thing until just the first part of last year. About a year ago, I got into the drone thing. I started out the Grumpy Vlogger just completely. But I've been playing around with toy drones and stuff. And then I started my. I ended up my first good drone was a Spark. You know, first.
Yeah.
You know, but
And you can't really go wrong. I know people either feel strongly for or strongly against usually
yeah,
the
yeah,
DJI products
right.
because of their conception, their thought process on that. But that Spark is a nice drone. I mean, Roger has it, and he hasn't killed anyone yet.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
I went from that and just kept and and there's a lot of misconception about me and that is because I'm always hanging around drone people and I know so many drone people, but I'm not a droner.
right, right. And yet, as I'm looking through your all your vlogs that you've done quite a bit of drone flying. And
Yeah.
you're not a bad drone flyer, my friend.
Well, I'm lucky. I did my Spark did get hung. I did a little weed whacking with my Spark one day because I was trying. I've been watching Ken Herring show and he had can't remember who it was. One of the guys that flies backwards so well, and he apologize for my little ankle biter there, but anyways, uh, he flies backward. I thought, well, I've been watching that video. I can do that. I mean, it's not that hard, and that was the reason I ended up with a Mavic Air because they don't. The Spark does not have rear uh, sensors, and I was flying backwards over my head and looking at the screen. I wasn't paying attention to the tree in my son's yard, and all of a sudden I hear this.
Oh, oh.
I turn around and it's like I just let go of the sticks, which is everybody says just let go and let it see what it does, and it stayed there. And I very cautiously bumped it out and bumped it up a little bit, and I saw the hole that I'd carved, and
Oh.
I flew it out. There's actually the video up there. I think I bring it in front of my camera, and you can see, and I'm pointing to the leaves that were still stuck in it. It didn't hurt it. It's a tough bird.
Oh my God. That would be so sad. I want to say hello to a few in the chat. Hey, Above and Beyond Centroid, Crankbait Crisis. Hi, Drone Effects with Claude. Nice seeing you again today. Drone Shots, Drone Epic One, Droning About Northwest, Russ. We got My Sweet Babu, Furball Kim, Glennesis, The Gremlin, Jeanette Pickering, Just Looking, Mason Kaiser. Hi, Mason. We have Midnight Drone,
Give
Nature.
me about 3 seconds here, and I'm going to run in there and try to fix her headsets again while you're greeting everybody.
Okay, sounds good. We have Midwest Drones, Nature's Beauty. Hi, darling. We have Night Train, choo choo. Night Train. Old Guy in a Drone, Paul Murray. Phantom Hodges Drone, Philly Drone Live. How you doing, my friend? Rick Halber. Rick, I don't know why I always stumble on that, but I know it. I know that name very well. Rodney Bell just, I believe, left the house. Shane, Specialized Paranorma, and Up in the House Records TV. So glad to have you all here tonight. And Rolex, I don't know why I didn't see your name on there. And I've seen you a lot in Above and Beyond. Yeah. And Mel, I don't think I said your name, did I? Hi, Mel. Hey, Roger. Did I say hi to you? Are you eating? I can't hear you at all.
No, I'm not eating. I'm just checking the chat. I'm just trying to find out who that guy was there. That's all. I'm just checking. Checking.
Drone Obsessed, Gary Calverley. Hi. Hi, how you doing? Drone Epic One. I'm not sure I saw everyone on here, but if I missed anyone, hey, Ricky Dev. Know that it's not on purpose. Know that. Yeah, I wouldn't miss anybody. So I'm going to kind of go, don't pull, I'm going to kind of go backward. So
okay.
I look at your beginning vlogs and you have a little Christmas mouse in the background and you have all your stuff wherever you have it, right? The way we all started, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Now, as you start through your later vlogs, right? You're in the car, which I still think you look great doing it that way too. You really do.
yeah.
Because it's just, you talking as you're driving it. And I kind of like those kind. I do like those kind. And
Right.
then now y'all professional, sir. It looks just so professional and so great. So what made you start to have kind of this evolution?
uh, a lot of luck, a lot of kindness from other people. Uh, I got to give Mel a lot of credit because he and I have become such good friends. 400 AGL, for those of you who don't know who Mel is, he's in the chat.
And if
Uh,
you get to know him better on the Grumpy Vloggers channel, he has a couple of these vlogs with Mel.
oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I give Mel a lot of credit for it. Well, to be honest with you, uh, three things happened that I started doing. I had a camp. I started doing just stuff in my truck after I did. I had just a couple phone videos at the house. The Christmas Mouse was my first Grumpy Vlogger video. That's one I credit with the Grumpy Vlogger. And then it just kind of each one, and I started watching YouTube a little. Well, I watch YouTube all the time, anyways. I'm one of these guys that my wife, we have a 55-inch screen TV on the wall in the bedroom. She has Parkinson's, and it's hard for her to get around and do a lot of stuff. So she has her movies, and we watch. Mel said it here the other night or the other day about me. We were probably sitting there, binge watching something on uh, Netflix or whatever, which is, watching, British movies stuff. But anyways, Mel, I give him a lot of credit. So what I would do is I'd sit there and watch YouTube, and I'd see, well, they're doing this and they're doing that, and I watch, and I got hooked on all these guys, and I subscribed to them, and I even went, a couple of them got their bonus stuff, about how to make your channel grow. Well, I figured out their secret. The way you make your channel grow is you get on here and do a live stream talking about how to make your channel grow. Folks, if you'll just subscribe to me and pay me $9.95 a month, I guarantee you, y'all make your channel grow. Well, it's an Amway. It's just an Amway scheme, guys. It's just a bunch of horse hockey. You know, guys like what you're doing and what Roger is doing. That's the kind of people you need to be following. You know, not all these with all this techno babble and blah 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 yada yada stuff. No, you follow guys like Roger. Roger does more for this for everybody's YouTube channel than anybody I know. And except the only other person I know besides you, Val, is Fuchsia Studios, and they're just as big.
Right,
Anthony,
right.
and they're great people too. And that's where I met, but either Fuchsia Studios or here's where I met 90% of these guys. But yeah, I upgraded because somebody, to this day, I don't know who did it, sent me a Logitech Brio 4K camera webcam, and that was that. Yeah, it's that's where it started. That's when and then Judy this last year for Christmas, she got me this new computer system. I was doing it on a laptop, which was good, and I played around with OBS, and Mel and I tried a couple different things, and then dropped the hammer and ended up with vMix. And you'll see my studio is a little different than what I use on Monday nights, and this is for when I'm going into yours and Rogers. So if you notice, I even put Grumpy Vlogger on Val's Live.
No, I did notice.
Val's
I thought
Live.
it was
And I
so
misspelled life, but I can correct that in a minute. But yeah,
fun.
I even.
How's life?
But
It's
yeah,
still
I'm on your Val's Live. Yeah, but anyways, uh, it's just I got into the software side, and Mel and I started competing to see who can come up with the most tweaks and gadgets and whatever. But my lighting was a big issue, and I didn't have a green screen. One day in the mail, I got a green screen. It was from 400 AGL.
of course.
Later on, it was the next one he had, and and he sent it to me. Well, then, and I knew that one was coming. But then one day we'd been talking about lighting and stuff. All of a sudden, I get this big box, and I have no clue where it's from, and I finally figured it out. and he'd sent me my 2 lights that I use now for the sides, and they're my screen lights, and they're the big umbrella lights, and I have one other light that I use up here. It's got red tissue paper. You can see the red kind of reflecting on my hand right now, and that just gives me a little bit more color, and kind of cuts the. But that's how I did it. I still use my phone in the truck every day.
Yeah, it's an excellent job you've done. Really excellent. I've seen a lot of people try to do this and just have a really kind of a nice setup, and it's not easy. I don't think it's easy. I think you've come up with something very eye pleasing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it does. I know what you're saying, and that's the whole thing. It's like if you look out this window right here, this is Muskogee. I got hold of some family said, who's got a good shot of Muskogee, and this is our actual downtown area, and I found the frame on the internet, free to download, and it is royalty-free frame, picture window frame, and the rest of this stuff just all was stuff that, and then my friend Grant had made this for me, so, and this is part of the vMix. This whole thing here is part of the new vMix version 22 that they just upgraded. So
do you get the vMix for free?
No, vMix you pay money for.
Yeah.
The version I've got costs $350. The version Mel's got, well, let's just put it this way. I'd have to sell one of my grandkids to pay for the version he's got. But
yeah, he might have sold a grandchild because I know how he is. He probably wanted it really bad.
Yeah.
So now that you've done all of this, I'm reading on here. A lot of guys agree with you. There are some people on there that will tell you all the ways in which to do your channel. But the truth I find is, background is important, but it's not the most. Maybe good lighting is nice, but it's not the most. All those tech things aren't the most important thing. The most important thing is have a decent show.
Yeah. Yeah, you could have the fanciest. You can have the fanciest setup in the world. I mean, you could be looking like. You could look like the most professional studio. I mean, you could be broadcasting from a television studio.
Oh man!
But what'd he say?
Don't
have any grandkids left now. That's Mel. He'd say something like that. But I mean, you can have all that, but if you don't have a personality or have a draw for people, they're not going to come back. And here's my secret. I'm just doing this for fun. I don't plan on becoming rich in YouTube. I'm retired. This helps keep me. It's helped keep part of the reason I do all this tweaking stuff is it keeps my mind functioning. It keeps me from. You can sit around. I've been retired. I have multiple sclerosis, and I've been retired for a lot of years. And I'm also my wife's caretaker. And let me tell you, she keeps me on my toes because her body may not function like it used to, but by God, her mind, she can put me in it's like Mel last night. I popped off a couple of things I shouldn't have. And he asked me to please send a picture to him. And I said, why? He says, so we'll have something to show at your memorial because she's going to kill you when you get off the phone. And I finally told her, I said, babe, we got to settle this before I go to sleep because I want to sleep with my eyes closed. Because
that's right.
And I deservedly so. I popped off, sometimes I'm a man, sometimes and I was talking to another guy and, as my brother, excuse the way I put this, but I'm going to say a bad word, but as my brother used to say, I was always letting my alligator mouth overload my canary ass.
Okay, I like that one.
And I did that last night because she was ready to, the only thing that would have saved me is I might have been able to outrun her, but I'm not even sure about that.
So, I'm not sure how old the vid was, but I saw that you've been married 37 years, or is it more now?
No, it's 37. We'll have been, this summer will be 38 years. Yeah, we're coming up on our 38th year. Yeah. And we've been lucky because it's, I've said this before, and third time it was the charm for both of us. We'd both been married. I've actually known Judy since I was 6 years old,
Wow.
and but I didn't grow up around her. Her family came out to see us, and and it's one of those things. I always had a crush on her, but we just never. And then I moved out here after I got out of service, and let's see, after I got out of service in my second marriage, I showed up out here in Oklahoma. Came from Arizona, and I asked her. We went up there. Her family was having a big fish fry and cookout, and I went up there and with my folks, because that was the only transportation I had. Because I flew out here, I didn't even have a car or a job, and I said, "Yeah, you like to dance?" "Yeah, I do." We got along that day. Well, I say we got. I thought we got along great. She told her mom she couldn't be in a room with me 5 minutes without wanting to kill me. I was too egotistical. Yeah, she was right. I'm egotistical. I know it, but anyways, 38 years later, coming up on 38 years in July, we're still plugging along. She hasn't killed me yet.
Oh my
She's come,
God. Oh
she's
my
come
God.
close a few times to wanting to, but she hasn't done it yet.
So really
I
quick,
mean,
I got to go back and say hi to everybody in the chat. And there's a lot of new people. Of course, we still have. I'm going to go down because it's not showing me everyone, guys. It just isn't. So I'm not going to use what I was using to show me everybody. So hold on. We have Drone Obsessed, Walker Fam. Hey, Rick Halber is still in the house. Drone Epic One, Billy Drone Life. We have Mike Sarney. Hey, Mike. Dickard with Dave. Hey, how you doing? We have the great Mel. We have, let's see, Gutsy Gear, Flying with Stan, Ryan, of course. I think I may already said Ryan, Up and Above. Okay, I said that wrong because I'm thinking about the Up movie. I will come up with the better name for that. Let's see, how many others? We have a lot. Drone Effects with Claude. Let's see. Uh-oh. My roommate just came home. He's going to say, why didn't you pick up the phone? No, you won't, because I'll see I'm on. Nameless Drone, how you doing, my dear? Drone Epic One, Midwest Drones. We have a lot more. Guys, thank you for coming in and watching Grumpy Vlogger. Yeah. So both you and your wife have some major health issues going on now. So
yes, yeah.
when did that start within the marriage? Did you know about the MS a long time ago, or did you just find out?
Yeah, the MS I was diagnosed with when I was 27 years old. We'd been married about 3 years, and I spent about 6 years in and out of a wheelchair. I spent about 3.5 years solid, and then the next 3 years learning how to walk. And I lost the total use of both my legs and my left arm. The good thing was, is I'm right-handed, so I could still eat. So that didn't slow me down. But
Because I wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have known that you had MS. I found that out through watching your blog. Paul, thank you so much. You're so kind. You're so sweet.
Paul Murray is a fantastic guy. I enjoy him. He
really is. He just
we had some good laughs on the panels with Roger. Roger's been very tolerant of Paul and I and the crap we pull.
Yeah, but one day he may even send us some of those brownies he's always eating. Don't send them to me. I'm not supposed to eat them.
I'd love to get some of those brownies.
I know, right? So you were put in a wheelchair, but you're not in one now.
No, that's the thing about MS, and I have a particular type that's what they call atypical, which tends to be related to those who were most of the guys I know that have mine was called rapidly progressive, rapidly remittive, atypical MS. And there's 100 versions of it. Mine happens to be one that I was to the point that I was on life support.
Oh, geez.
My breathing shut down, and when I was first diagnosed, I was just stumbling around a lot. I'm back to stumbling around again. That's why in some of the few videos in the last couple of 3 or 4 weeks, I've been using crutches or a cane. And if I feel my legs when they want to work, but yeah, I went into I went into remission, and it's still there. It's still at, what it does is each time it does something, it usually takes a little something away, but it comes back, but it may not always come back to full force, Like
Okay.
right now, my legs are about 60% no feelings, So,
Uh,
but
so you're kind of losing by bits and pieces.
starting to little bits and pieces. I have to watch what I'm doing, because I have to pay a little closer attention, especially lately. It started building up this summer, and that's when I noticed that. And of course, Judy notices it before me, because she knows we'd only been married 3 years when I was diagnosed, and I asked her then. I said, "Are you gonna be able to stick this out with me?" Because at that point, we didn't know the long term where we were standing. And she
Right.
says, "I'm not gonna lie to you." She says, "I can't honestly say, because it's a lot to take on. We've just been married 3 years, and there's a lot to take on." And boy, she stuck with me. There'd be times my legs I'd just drop, and she'd pick, she was all of 105 pounds, and pick my, you know, almost 200-pound butt up off the ground and carry me back into the house until I went into a wheelchair. And then, and there's been a few times I was out here in my backyard one time. Well, I'm pointing like out this window here is my backyard. Okay. And when we moved into this house, it's handicap adapted, so I could get out there on my own. While I was out in the backyard, and we had some ruts in the yard, and I had the electric wheelchair. Well, I tried to jump a rut with my electric wheelchair, and it didn't work. And what it is, the front wheels came up, but the back wheels dropped, and then it just rolled over backwards and rolled me out the back side of it. And well, we were smart enough to know that I needed, this is when cordless phones first came out. It was one of them big honkers, with the long antenna. So I reached over to my wheelchair and grabbed it, and I tried calling her. Well, so what I had to do is I had to call my mom across town and say, "Call this number back," because Judy couldn't hear me, because she was, you know, our living room is on the back side of the house, our kitchen's on the front side of the house, and I was in the back. Okay, so she couldn't hear me, but she just checked on me, and I was fine. But then I couldn't get back up in my chair. So, anyways, my mom calls her and says, "You need to go check in the backyard," because my mother was. I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen Keeping Up Appearances.
Oh, I love that show. I'm sorry.
My mother is Hyacinth Bouquet.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, that was my mother. It's like, oh my God, it's like, you need to go check on your husband. And I loved my mother to death, and God bless her. We lost her in '99, but she could be, she could be a pain, and I still had the greatest respect for her. She was still a great person. But anyway, so Judy puts down the phone. She comes out. She's mad for two reasons. One, that I did something stupid that caused me to fall out of the wheelchair, and two, that I called my mother, her mother-in-law, to come get me. Yeah. It's just, and it was one of those things that she like, "What do you do?" So yeah, I did stupid stuff, and but she took care of me, and she stayed with it until I finally got, through the physical therapy and all of that. I had to go through. Took me over a year just to be able to walk again.
That's what I was
Physical therapy.
how long
Yeah.
that recuperation took for you.
Yeah, it took me about a year before I could actually walk. And I use the cuff crutches I use now, forearm crutches. I use those for another 3.5 years. And occasionally I'd drop, something happened, and, I'd have a exasperation, as they call it. And I'd be back in the chair again, and I'd be back to work. But it finally turned around, and they finally got me. And another problem is I was doing most of my medical was coming from the VA, and this was back in the early '90s, and their answer to everything was give you more drugs. Just here's another pill. Take this will fix it. And then they wonder why there's so many vets that got drug problems now. But they have treated me well. I was diagnosed with right after I got out, and of course I'm service connected. Uh, I've got service connection disability because of my MS, because MS will never go away. And but anyways, that's how it worked out with us. And now my wife has Parkinson's, and she was diagnosed her Parkinson's was diagnosed about 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it'd been coming on for quite a while longer. So, you know.
In Parkinson's, I have a very good friend whose husband had Parkinson's.
Right.
And it can be very hard.
It can be. And my wife is one of those women that, because she had been my caretaker, that made her pretty dead burn independent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I use the word independent in the nicest way I can think of, because stubborn is the term I would prefer to use. And she's listening to this, and she knows. She,
Yeah, don't let the jujitsu out of you. You
sorry, dear. Sorry, but she can, and she'll insist on doing something, and invariably she ends up falling, and then I have to pick her up. And I was like, let me do it. It's easier for me to do it than it is to pick you up. But she wants her independence, and I understand that. And she's
That's
getting
right.
better. Last few falls, she's kind of like, okay, I'm seeing, I'm seeing that I probably need to be a little more careful. But she's
Right. It's hard though when you've been strong all through everything. And then
yeah,
all of a sudden your body says, hey, I'm a little bit done here
yeah,
and I'm gonna have a
yeah,
problem.
yeah. She just says something, and she makes me pay a lot more close attention too, because just recently she was in the hospital. I know some of y'all knew that because Mel took over my show one Monday night because she was in ICU. That was my screw up. I gave her my blood pressure medicines, and she has low blood pressure. I have high blood pressure.
Oh no. Oh
Yeah,
no.
she was in ICU for four days. We about lost her. I about killed her, and she has not let me forget that. She says, "I know you're trying to bump me off." I said, "The insurance isn't paid yet. I couldn't do it. It was an accident."
Don't worry, Miss Grumpy Vlogger. We're gonna make sure he remembers too.
Yeah,
Especially on birthdays, anniversaries,
yeah.
Christmas.
Well, this was the week before her birthday. Needless to say, well, we'd already planned it. It was her 70th birthday, so she wanted to have. She never had a birthday party, so we had a birthday for her.
Nice.
And yeah, but then I gave her something, and my daughter-in-law says, "That's all you're giving her? She deserves a ring." Well, she got a ring. She didn't know there was a ring in a sack somewhere else. I was like, yeah. What the guys that played games with us knew that every time I really screwed up, Judy got a new diamond, and they got to the point where they say, "Uh-oh, Judy's getting another diamond."
And I can see Judy now. I just hope he screws up because I need a new diamond.
Yeah, and she's got, yeah, she can't wear them all around. It's just it's
Oh,
yeah,
nice. Very
yeah,
nice.
but
So one thing I noticed is that your family comes from a long line of veterans.
yes. Yeah, we've had somebody in every war since the Revolution. We served on both sides. My family served on both sides of the war between the states,
Yep.
and or the northern aggression, as they say down here in Oklahoma,
Yeah.
down
Or
south.
Gretchen, they say in
Yeah,
South Carolina too.
yeah, the war of the northern aggression. Yeah,
Yeah.
but we had family on both sides. My grandfather was in World War One and was wounded in the Black Forest,
Hmm.
uh, and was left for dead. Matter of fact, that's why I'd like to say is my grandfather, uh, on my mom's side. He was the War Department sent the black border telegram home saying he'd been killed in action in World War One, in like 1918, and my mother was born in 1921. So they obviously had made a mistake. He wasn't, but it took him 3 years to. It took him 2 years to figure out where he was at. But and then my dad was in World War II. All my uncles were in World War II. Uh, my brother was in Vietnam. I was at the end of Vietnam. My cousins were in Vietnam. Yeah, we've had family, like I said, dating all the way back to the Revolution. Actually, if I go back further over to England, we were in the War of the Roses. Unfortunately, we were on the wrong side, and that's why we lost our hereditary land.
Right. It's hard
Yeah.
how that happens, right?
Yeah, it sucks when the wrong king wins, you know.
Well, thank you so much. I just she wanted to send me a token of support, her treats funding. Thank you, Mia. Thank you, baby girl. So I saw that because my family has been in the same thing, the Revolutionary War on down through everything. And I'm gonna say I'm not sure. There's no one who's been in this latest thing going on, but I think it's one of the first ones that someone, our cousin, hadn't been in one of these wars. They've been through
Yeah.
all of them. We have a lot of veterans. My dad's a veteran, everyone. Grandma worked for the war effort. My grandma was a
My
little
mother, my mother worked with my mother worked at the munitions plant out in California back in World War II,
right.
and you know, I've got a nephew that's been deployed several times. I've got a cousin that he was in during the Vietnam, but his dad, which was my uncle, was he was part of the Bataan death march of a
Uh,
Japanese POW during World War II, and he survived it. So he had a little pull when my cousin was slaughtered to go to Vietnam, which he wanted to do because he wanted to serve his country. His dad pulled some strings, and just as he was getting ready to deploy, he got pulled back. So
uh,
later, after his dad had passed away, and he ended up going to work for the Army Corps of Engineers, and he ended up deploying over to Iraq and Afghanistan like 7 times, but
yeah.
as a civilian contractor with the Army Corps of Engineers, as a civilian Army Corps of Engineers. He's still over there, or he was still over there, but you know, he was bound and determined he was going to serve one way or the other. And then, like I said, I've got a nephew, my sister's well, he's a great nephew, my sister's grandson. He's in the Air Force, and he's been deployed over there 2 or 3 times
Mm.
in the Air Force. You know, so yeah, like I said, we've had somebody. I had another nephew or another cousin that was in Persian Gulf in 1990. So we've, you know, well, I had a cousin. He actually was getting ready to retire. He'd been a Marine, and then he ended up getting out of the Marines and going back into the Army and spent 24 years in. And he put in his retirement when they stopped his retirement and they sent him over to Kuwait.
Oh
And
wow.
he was in the invasion, and he was a first sergeant at that point, and he was an E9 first sergeant. And they kept he told he says, yeah, he said, I didn't like the way they were running it. He said, we had all these young kids that had never been in war, these college students trying to tell us how to do things. And he says, they were screwing up. He said, they'd say they're having a staff meeting. He says, well, I'm not going. You can have the war without me. I quit, you know. And I said, you can't quit. He said, what are you going to do? Fire me? I was retiring anyways. I'm ready to get out of this. Send me home. I don't care. They didn't. And
Like there's nothing greater than a military engineer. I'm biased as a former gentleman of the Corps.
yeah.
Yes, just kind of get used to always having somebody within something. But I'm going to ask you a question only because it's been on my mind a lot lately. Hi, Arco, Chris Hope. And I just don't want to spend a long time on it because I never do this on my channel. But veterans and how they get treated. I mean, you've seen to maybe your experience has been different, but we're hearing so many things now, and we did after the Vietnam War. I remember that because I'm old enough to remember all that, and all these different wars where our veterans just aren't getting the things they need to take care of themselves after they've done all this for us. What is your take on that?
Well, yeah. Well, I came, you know, I come out of the Vietnam era, and I went through the late. I got out in 1980, and I went in 74, got out in 80, and I got in just as Saigon fell, so I was right at you know,
Right.
but I'm still considered Vietnam era. But I didn't go to Vietnam. I did go to some other fun places, but that's besides the point. We had our fingers in other places besides there. So
Yeah, we did.
yeah, and but the VA, when I first started going there, I wouldn't, and by the time I got through there, I wouldn't have taken my dog to get his vaccinations there. You know, it was just the crappiest place. And they had people, first off, they had so many civilians that were working there, and it has become such a, the VA is an entity. It's a self-aware entity now. They couldn't get rid of the VA hospital healthcare system if they wanted to, because it's going to take them 30 years of paperwork just to figure out where all the bodies are buried. And I don't mean that in the well, maybe in the literal sense too, but
I know what you mean by that. Yeah.
you know, it's such a conglomerate that and there's so many people. Uh, I had 10 years ago when I started going back about 10 years ago, I started going back to the system. I needed some dental work done, and they said they'd take care of it. And because I'm 100% veteran, 100% service connected veteran, disabled, uh, they take care of me in that respect. But I quit going for 20 years. And so I went back there, and finally I got a chance to meet with the administrator, because the head of the dental asked me to go in and do a part of a fact finding thing that they had, a panel, sort of like this, a roundtable panel.
Right.
And she asked me to go talk on behalf of a patient from the dental department. So, okay, yeah, you guys did me good. I'll say, I got to meet the administrator, and I told him straight up, I don't want to come here for my doctor care, because you guys suck. Just that simple. You suck. And he says, well, okay. He says, give us another chance. So he set me up, and I had a very good doctor. I had a really good doctor for quite a while. But then, unfortunately, and this was right about the time that all that stuff was being found out about how they treated veterans. And I mean, I already knew how bad our veterans hospital was. There's so many guys I knew that had died there because of just lack of care.
Right.
And that's why my wife quit sending me there when she said we did. She paid off a hospital bill. She paid it off $25 a month. We had no insurance, and she just set up financing, and that's what we could afford. And she paid it off, and it took years to pay it off. But she was, when she was taking care of all the bills, because at that time I was not in the health to do it. But anyways, then things got better, and I went, and that's when I started going back there. But then we had an administration change. That's all I'm going to say. And suddenly the focus was on something else. And the veterans started being treated, like we're second class. Now, unfortunately, we got so much, and unfortunately, it's a government program. It's a government system, and it's politically motivated. And as long as politics are up in the air, we're going to be the last ones to receive anything. And that's it. So, that's the way I see it. And right now it's okay. I've got a doctor that's I'm not happy with, but I only go to him. Started going back to my civilian doctor because I needed things done, and I didn't trust the VA to do it.
I'm just thinking, like, if this were in the private sector, they would never get away with the shoddy treatment that's happening, and they'd have to have. And some parts of it are, they just don't have enough people. They are so overwhelmed. The system in itself. So hire people. Get people in. Get good people in
there. Unfortunately, that's the problem. See, anytime you work for the government, it's a job for life. It's you get on there. You have to, and I'm going to put this in a really harsh way, but you have to have, the only way they would fire you is if you were one of the Romans that put a nail in Jesus's hands. You have to have done something that egregious before they're going to get rid of you. That's you had to be that bad of a person to before. I mean, because we had a doctor that he could not even practice medicine in the civilian world. He had so many lawsuits against him of malpractice. By God, he can work at the VA hospital.
And let me tell you, my mom worked for the government for many years until she was 80 years old. And she had her little area. She did grants and stuff for NIH, and it was top notch. But she went through a lot of people to try to find the right people in there. and they never fired him. They just sent him somewhere else.
Well, and that's it. The thing is if they would fire him, maybe we would, but things would be a little different. But we don't get rid of them. We just,
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you because I know we
Yeah.
are always saying the mental health has to improve and things happen because someone's mental health. And we talk a lot about that. And yet, when the very people who need the help because of things they've seen, things that they can't handle, need this help, we don't
Yeah.
have it for them. We don't. Good
they
luck.
they do not have this stuff. And the biggest problem, our treatment got better after Persian Gulf, because I said when that war started that group of people were not going to put up with the crap that we did as Vietnam veterans. They're not going to just take it, because the country is so dead against the Vietnam War and against any veteran that was involved with that or even served during that time. You didn't have to be a Vietnam, you're still treated like crap. The people, the civilians, the people of the United States have rallied around the veterans like nothing I've ever seen. I still have problems when somebody comes up and thanks me for my service. That just blows my mind. I'm not used to that. All those years that was never dealt with. And I didn't even let people know I was a veteran for years simply because it just was easier. But now I'm proud of being a veteran, and I'm proud of the veterans I have. A lot of the guys out here, a lot of the guys I'm watching in this chat are all veterans, and they're all good friends. Rodney Bell, Mel, God, I could go through half of
We have so many,
Yeah,
we have so
yeah,
many. And I'll tell you, as a bleeding heart liberal who was just me being brought up through
right.
the Vietnam War, I was always proud of our guys. May not have liked the war, may wish we never had to go, but I had
Yeah,
family in that war, by God, and I
yeah,
wanted
yeah,
them to come home safe, as everyone else wanted their boys coming home safe. And Andrew and Rodney, they were over there, and I got to tell you, I was sick every day, worried for these boys, and they came home. I was so happy. Um, So I'm sorry that veterans have ever been treated badly, but you're right, they were, because I saw it
yeah.
all.
It was. I remember when my brother came back from Vietnam in 1968, 67, 68. He
Uh,
came back and he was in. He was coming back from his third tour over there, and he was at Fort Carson, Colorado. And before he could go on leave, he had to go buy civilian clothes because they would not let him off the base in his uniform. Before that, when he would come home, he'd wear his uniform. It was a proud thing. But by 68, they wouldn't even let him off the base for fear of reprisals. And it's just
yeah, we
uh,
had days in there. Centroid is saying he never served, but his father was drafted and served in Korea. My Uncle Jerry was in Korea. My dad, the Cold War. He flew the
yeah,
Russian line. It just depends on what time you went in. My Uncle
yeah, yeah.
Jerry was in the sub. We all had their stuff.
Well, every veteran that has ever served has done one thing. Whether they were drafted or whether they enlisted, I enlisted because I knew I was going to get drafted because I knew that
My
the
dad and
draft hadn't ended when and so I enlisted. I actually got my lottery number called after I'd already enlisted. Thank God, or I'd have been in the army.
right?
No offense to my army friends, but man, we had it easy in the Air Force compared to you guys or the Marines. I wouldn't have made it as a Marine. I admit it right now.
They had a tough time. They had
Oh
a
man, I was so glad I went in the Air Force, and I did a lot of stuff I was proud of in the Air Force. But
yeah. My dad
yeah,
was in the Air Force. Yeah,
yeah, we had it was we. Now I did, I volunteered. That was where I made my mistake. I volunteered for something for a program, and yeah, that wasn't such a great idea. But anyways, that's another story. Uh, you know,
right.
uh, but anybody who has ever signed on that dotted line, they have signed they've signed a check that is up to and including their life. At
Yes.
any point, a veteran or a military member can be called in and be killed. I mean, it's just that simple. We could go to war at any time, any place. And nowadays, I tell, young people now, I honestly believe that we should have something like Israel, in which you got to serve 2 years of your country. You know, and everybody, men, women, men and women, both of you. You know, and are you still a bleeding heart liberal?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. But you
Oh
know,
well, that's right.
don't
You're the
believe-
nicest one I know.
my friends don't believe that. They keep trying to tell me I'm conservative, and I said, well, you know what? I go with my common sense. But I am.
Well,
You know, I wish there were no wars. I wish we could all just hold hands and be together. I think that is something I would love to see. I also know that's something I won't see. I spent some time in third world countries. You know, things are Paul. Oh, for goodness sake! Look, he's showing his respect.
Paul, you are just an unbelievably nice person. Yes.
Oh my God! You know, I love you. You know this. Hey, Metro Drones. Yeah, I still am. I still have a lot of things. You know, I think we should take care of our poor. And I think it's kind of more of a religious thing for me, because I think that's what we're called to do. But I will say this. Our veterans are family. They're our family as much as anyone else is our family. These are our
Yeah.
family. We got to take care of our boys and our girls. You know, our women and men. We got to take care of them. They've been so brave, so brave. And I don't care if they're just serving in Germany or they're behind a desk. You're right. They can be called at any minute to go where it's terrible. And being in third world countries, yeah, I was in Iran, as some people call it, during the
Right.
Iran-Iraq War. And let me tell you, I just, what am I doing here? And, you know, it was a big, long story, but I will tell you, the people who go to war and fight wars, there's some bravery there, whether they know it or not. I
And
don't care
most
if
of them,
they've been drafted or not to get on a plane, go somewhere and fight in a place where bombs are going off and other things are happening. That's bravery.
will tell you, at least the ones I know, will tell you they were just doing their job. You know,
I know.
it's just that simple.
But you
And
know what? I'm not going to change my mind on it. It was just a
well,
brave.
and I tell you what, especially you being a bleeding heart liberal, I appreciate that support. You know, for all I appreciate that on behalf of all the veterans that are in this chat right now, and all the veterans I know. I appreciate that, and that means a lot to me personally. And so, what do you think of Iran?
Let me tell you. I'll let you ask that question, and then we'll go back to me asking it. Um, when I landed in Iran, there were a lot of people there. The community, the families, beautiful. You know, they're just beautiful, kind. And then you come to the government, and it was horrendous on these people. Trash in the streets, trash everywhere. The way they treated their women, the way they treated other things. I don't know that everyone, you know, is going to ever agree with my take on it, but it was a harsh place. Um, and it was very sad. It was very sad, but I love the people I met. They're just like, you know, they're good people everywhere. And these were a lot of good people living under something that they accepted. They saw it as religious. They had to. It's their Ayatollah. He said they believe and they follow. But if you get past the politics, get past the religion, they were beautiful people. That's all I can say. That's how I
Yeah.
felt. So,
Well, I got to spend a fun-filled few days there before the Ayatollah got in country, and well, he was in country, but he was making his move, and we were making our move too. We were getting out as he was coming in, and
yeah.
I lost a team member there, so, from my team. So, you know, in a firefight, and I got to admit, from that point of view, I don't have a lot of fond feelings for those people, but I understand.
Yeah.
Although, so I knew when we were on when the Shah was in charge and we were on good standing with the Iranians. We had some that I went to high school with, and you know, I think the worst thing I ever saw though was this one young lady. She was dating a friend. She started dating a friend of mine, and her brothers came and warned him off. Well, he wouldn't be warned off. She was on a plane back to Iran the next day.
Yeah, yeah,
She
and that's
disappeared, and that's, you know, this was back in the early 70s, you know, and this is when the Shah was still in charge, but they still had that you know, I think
yeah,
any
and
religion would treat anybody like that.
I went
And
over
so,
right after the hostages were released. I went over in '82
I
when
was
they
there. I was there in December of '78, so I was there just
so we
before
just
that.
each
We,
other,
yeah,
right?
we were on. I saw it before it happened. You saw it after it happened, and either way, it's
Oh,
not
I
a
got
great.
yeah.
Yeah.
Shaw did some terrible things to his people, and that's just the truth with dictators. That happens. But I don't see it being any better for them.
Well, and actually, if I don't know, you may not have known that many Iranians. You see it now, but the Iranians were very westernized and very.
Yeah,
I mean, it's real simple. You know, it goes back to what I've always thought, and this is what I believe, and it's part of why I'm the Grumpy Vlogger, and the reason I started the Grumpy Vlogger channel. You know, this is coming around to where you're wanting to go eventually, and is I started because there's things I like to say that you just can't say everywhere. So I thought I'll have my own friggin' channel and say what I want. One of those things that I say is, you know, it's I've always been of the belief, you know, he may have been an SOB, but he was our SOB. You
that's
know,
right. That's right.
and if we got to have these people, that was the biggest mistake we've ever made in the Middle East, was not supporting his government, the Shah's government, even after he fell. We should have supported the democratic government that was there, not the religious government, the theocracy. Guys, if you've seen any of my videos, I just used a $10 word, theocracy. The
I'm right.
theocracy theocracy that is now in place.
I gotta
What?
get a picture of you saying that big word.
Theocracy. Theocracy.
You know, I got to tell you, when I read a lot about what the Shah did to its people, I can't be sorry he left. It made that whole region, though, very unstable. It seems like sometimes when you go to get something better, you can end up with something worse, and you can't always see that because so many people have. Oh, okay. I'm going to stop for a minute and say hi to the chat because someone just reminded me. Hi, everyone. Hey, Starcop. Nice seeing you. Swift Fox. Metro Drones Above and Beyond. Rick Halbar still now. Manic. Hey, there you are, my darling. Crags. Hi. Let's see. Paul Murray, my sweetie. Legwork. How you doing, my dear? Did you hear Lloyd's big word, legwork? Yes, he's coming up with really big ones I have to think about. Centroid. Let's see. Ricky Dove, Above and Beyond, and everyone else. Hey guys, thanks you're here. Phantom Flight 101. Hey, how you doing, UK Momo? Yeah, I will tell you. This is the one thing, and I'm going to tell you. This is what I think people need to do. This is my plan for everybody. Everybody should go to a third world country. I think it just expands your brain. You know, I tell the story all the time. I went up through New York, took off from New York to go to Germany and then go over to Iran. And when I went into New York, I thought, what a dirty place. I was in New York City. I drove through. I was like, oh my God. Yeah, I'm in Maryland. Everything was green and clean and beautiful.
Right.
And then I'm in New York and it's dirty and it's filthy. Some of the people, you know, I was like, oh, no, no, no. And I get on the plane. I land in Iran. There's so much dirt up by the big rivers. They weren't cleaning their riverways. They weren't cleaning things. I went to the Caspian Sea up all the way up north, and they had big just trash piles because they had no way to manage it. When I got back on the plane, it took me, they wanted to keep me, so it took me a little while to get out. They had a special plan, but I ended up being able to find a way out. And I ended up in New York. All I could think of is I want to kiss the ground. What a beautiful country. What a beautiful country. We have our problems, true. We have all kinds of things, true. But this country is beautiful. So
You know,
that was my
one
feeling ever since.
one of the things that I think we're doing right here is we're having a conversation. And obviously, I'm a conservative, and I'm on the other
Yeah,
side of that. So, go figure, right? But I'm a conservative, and I have but I'm not a closed-minded person. I have I have my feelings and my opinions about stuff, and if I want to give my opinion, I've got a YouTube channel to do that on. But
right.
on the other hand, I can sit back and I can visit with you, knowing that you're a bleeding heart liberal, which I'm going to get lots of mileage out of that one on my channel now, like I do the man buns, and Oklahoma
Oh
Drill
yeah,
when he's
I'm
up
never
there.
gonna
You
get
know,
over the man
yeah,
bun.
but but it's my opinion, and I understand that my opinion stops right here. It does not go past into you. It doesn't, that's in your opinion stops right there. Once you've stated your opinion, that's as far as it goes. And no matter how much I scream and yell at you, you're not going to change your mind, and I'm not going to change my mind. So, we can agree to disagree on stuff, but we can still have a conversation as human beings. And that's my problem with both sides of the fence is they don't know how to act like humans anymore. And I'm pretty much friggin' tired of all of them being that way. Both sides. I agree that there are your side, I have a lot more problems with than my side, but that's my point of view and that's my opinion and that's my beliefs. And if I don't like what your side does, I go to the election booth and I change that because we live in a country we can do that. I kind of wished in some ways we had a parliamentary system where they could get rid of the boss anytime they don't like him. Just throw him out and start over because that's what we need to do everywhere. But that's, this is why I'm the grumpy vlogger because that's the kind of stuff that, I say. It's kind of crap that I spiel,
But
but I try never to be offensive. Well,
the sad thing I've seen in this country is we've allowed people to come into our world and divide us.
oh, yeah.
We've allowed it, and they have power because we gave them power. Both sides are doing it. The older I get, the more I see the game being played because there's
Oh, yeah.
certain things that have to happen. Number one, veterans need a fair shake. They need hospitals. They need mental health. They need the things they need. Let's do
Right.
that. And then you come talk to me about the bridge, about the road, about all the other stuff you want, about a wall. I'm sorry, I'm just going to say it. Talk to me about all those things you want, but let's take care of first things first. That's my feeling. And until
Yeah.
they do that, I don't have a lot of use. But I will go to the voting booth and I will vote because I think that's my duty. I really do think so. Yes, Drone Pool, I will put you in timeout and call Dawn, and I will make a honey-do list you'll never come back from. That's right, Drone Pool. I'll do it. You know it. I will.
Let's see, Val.
It's
I
all a
changed my name to Hillary Premier. Well, actually, Drone Pool, if you did, I'd probably want to be one of your first interviewees on there because I'd be right there with you. But we're not here to talk about politics. We're here to talk about whatever. That's one of the things I try to say. My wife has always wanted me to stay clear of politics, and I'm just, I love to step in the middle of that bear trap. But you know,
yeah, yeah.
that said and done, you have your right to your opinion, and I thank you for going to the booth and voting, and I thank you for supporting the veterans. Those are the two things
I
that
do.
you'll earn my respect. I don't care if you are a bleeding heart liberal, you've earned my respect because of that alone.
Well, and quite truthfully, if I find a conservative, my friend's such a Republican, it blows their mind that I'm not. But if I have a conservative that I think will do a darn better job, I'll vote for him. I don't care.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you got to vote for who's going to be best, right?
Well, yeah, and the problem is unfortunately, I haven't seen the best in so many years. I mean, I hate to say that I've made this joke many times, whether you agree with him or not, but I said, for years we've had guys up there trying to act like they were presidents. In 1980, we finally hired a professional actor to do the job.
Right.
Whether whether you agreed with him or not, at least he was a professional actor. The other ones were just amateur actors, you know. And I will say I served under Jimmy Carter, and that really sucked, because we literally did not have enough fuel. We we at one point the Russians could have walked in and taken over because we didn't have one squadron of aircraft in 1977. We could have got off the ground to fight them. We're talking the whole United States, the whole U.S. Air Force didn't have enough planes that were operational ready that we could have got a full squadron together. They either didn't have fuel, the pilots were grounded because they didn't have enough flight hours because we didn't have enough fuel, or the parts were not there. We actually went at one point to the graveyard out there in Tucson and scavenged parts off of World War II aircraft to put in A-10s. I mean, that's
Oh,
just sad.
oh,
A brand new aircraft, and we were having to put World War II scavenge parts just to make it work to get it off the ground for operational readiness.
oh my gosh. So, so having been in the forces, in the Air Force, and then coming out, and then you end up with multiple sclerosis, then your wife ends up with Parkinson's. Does it ever feel like you're just being beat to death? I mean, your life has not been terribly easy when it comes to health and to other things, Lloyd.
No, that was the one thing I never, I've never questioned it. It's life. It's just what has been dealt. And with Judy's case, I said she has Parkinson's. Well, she started out with fibromyalgia, and then that developed into Parkinson's.
Right.
She's had she's had 2 heart attacks, 3 mild strokes, and 2 bouts of cancer, both lung cancer and it metastasized, went to adrenal cancer. And she's still at set. She now hit 7 years in remission
Oh
on
wow.
the
Bless
cancer.
her
So
heart. Bless
with
her.
with yeah, she's had the rougher row in a lot of ways than I have, but we've neither one, because to hear me talk, you wouldn't think it, but we have a pretty strong faith that we believe in. We're not. I don't mean that we are church going, there every Sunday and on Wednesday nights and Saturday afternoons, and no, but we have a strong faith and a strong belief system, and that's what keeps us going. And when I was in the wheelchair at my worst times, I never once said, "Why me, God?" Yeah. There's days that you get up, especially as I get older, I get up and think, "Well, man, I ache and hurt today." But that's just getting old. That's just life. It's just, you know, like I tell my grandkids and my kids, sometimes, and even friends when I hear them whinging and whining and carrying on, I got some wood out there. You want to build a bridge so you can get over it.
I have this saying that I just believe to be true. No matter what happens, chop wood, carry water. Still got to get through your daily life. And without these things, you wouldn't be here. I mean, sometimes we have things in our life we just have to learn how to cope with. But I always feel bad when I hear that people have these bad things because I know it makes it more difficult.
Judy and I have been considered ourselves blessed in so many ways because, we had both been married and divorced twice. This was our third marriage for both of us, and yet we're coming up on 38 years,
Beautiful.
and uh, that in itself in today's times is just an unbelievable thing. And not only that, we've gone through all these health issues, and we've both come close to dying a couple of times,
Mm.
but yet we've just plugged along and we keep going along and we consider ourselves blessed. When Judy was diagnosed with cancer, that's one of the things I tell people, that when she was diagnosed with cancer, it was such a devastating thing. I mean, it just kicks you in the teeth. I don't care. You can be prepared for it, you can talk about it, but man, until it happens to you, somebody really, really close, you know, it just kicks you in the teeth. You're not prepared for it. And one of the things I made up my mind was, at one point we didn't know whether she was going to make it. We just didn't know what her prognosis was. The way they told us originally is she wasn't going to make it, you know. And so I was bound and determined that even if all I did was lay in the bed next to her for however long she had left, that was every minute I spent with her was a minute that I had with her, you know, because she's such a big part of my life. And I wanted that time with her. I wanted to have that. And so, I'm a guy, we're not genetically engineered and designed to do housework. Okay. I suck at it. You know, it's just that simple. But she can't do it, so I have to pick up the slack, and I have been found wanting in that in that respect. I suck, but I spend as much time with her, even if all I'm doing is I'm sitting there looking at YouTube or reading, and I'm one of those guys that I'm watching YouTube. One minute I'm watching a movie, the next minute I'm reading a book. Sometimes I have two books open on my iPad, and I reduce that and I listen to a movie in the background. Or I might have a movie and YouTube going. If I can figure out how to get them both going at the same time, I'm listening. It's like, okay, because I got an attention span of a gnat. So my mind my mind goes so fast that my body can't keep up with it. So I'm constantly thinking of what am I going to do next, because I have to have that attention. And so we're watching a movie on a big screen TV. I'm listening in on something on YouTube. I'm reading a book at the same time. And then Judy's asking me what's going on in the movie. Oh, okay. And I'll say, oh, yeah, that movie. And then I'm quoting her facts and figures on because an actor will pop up and say, oh, that guy played, and I've got the International Movie Database open up, and I'm giving her all the facts and figures behind the scenes of the movie, how it's made, because my mind doesn't shut down until it's time to go to sleep, and then just I'm wiped.
Okay, so just a minute. I have to address something with Mel. Mel, what I believe is YouTube means it's my channel. And if I feel it necessary to time someone out, I do. Now, you don't know past, you don't know future, you don't know why I did it. And I'm asking you just to respect the fact that I know why I did it. And don't make this a big deal, okay? Thank you. I'm sorry. I know. I love Mel, but I don't want just me timing someone out to be a whole topic of First Amendment rights.
Oh, I wouldn't even pay. I wouldn't really.
Sorry, Mel. I love you. You know I do, but I won't. Not today. This is about Grumpy Vlogger, and I just did what I needed to do. Okay. Okay.
Okay. I wouldn't even pay attention. Like I said, my mind. I'm sitting here looking at. I'm watching you, and my mind is going 100 different places because I'm thinking of whatever's.
Yeah,
and that's what I do.
I have some kind of strict rules, and I broke them tonight about politics and all that, and I broke my rule.
Well, I led you down a primrose path.
Always have people that I think that I can say what I think, and who will be just a little less judgmental about it, because I am, a liberal within, not so liberal sometimes, and sometimes I just want to hear what you have to say, and I want to ask. So there you go.
Well, and that's part of the whole
me, right?
Well, that's part of the reason I started the Grumpy Blogger, because I have that right on my channel. And I try, as I said, I try not to push my points of view off on other people on their channel. You come into my channel, it's like Kelly Shores came on one time, and he and I were on a show together. I think it might have been Oz by Drones, and or it might have been Mel's. I can't remember. And we were talking, and he said something about, well, I defended him a few times, and I'm going, I think the world of Kelly Shores. I mean, I would no more offend that man than the man in the moon. So, whoa, wait a minute, how did I offend you? And he finally says, well, I knew that we'd get to talk one day, and it would come up. He says, I'm a snowflake. I said, I'm sorry. I feel so sorry for you, Kelly, but okay. I'm going to get mileage out of this one, and I've been using it ever since. Okay, that's cool. I still respect Kelly, just like I respect you. I don't care what your politics are, and it's just, Now, if you're in my house and we're sitting around the kitchen table, I'm going to debate the snot out of you. Don't think I won't. But and Judy will be sitting there gouging me in the rib, telling me to shut up.
Oh my
You
God.
know,
Yeah.
you know.
There's
Now,
nothing I never mind in using in private with my friends because a lot of them are Republican of having that conversation. The only thing is it bothers me sometimes because I have to be really up on my game to argue 'cause some of them are brilliant and I have to really have my game up. And I don't mind because I know when I leave that table, they still love me and I still love them. But you have some of those conversations, people aren't going to like you.
well, and I understand that. And usually, if there's somebody I think that I'm going to totally offend, and most of what I do on my channel, I do tongue in cheek. Okay,
Right.
and I'll be the first one. But there is nobody safe from my BS. Okay, and that's all my channel is. I call myself a FWOF. That's the term I started using lately because I figured out that's what I was. We got all these different groups. There's all the Rainbow Coalition and all that other happy horse crap. The Unicorn Brigade and whatever. I am an FWOF. I'm a fat white old fart. That's who I am.
Oh my God.
I can't help it that I'm fat. Well, I could if I'd quit eating all the pounds of candy that I eat, but I don't want to. I certainly can't help it that I'm white.
Yeah.
Not my choice,
As they
Sorry.
say, do you, boo?
I was born this way. It wasn't my choice. I'm old. There again, not my choice.
Yeah.
And I'm a fart. What can I say?
Getting old is sucking a little bit. Let me just say, just biting a little bit. It's not as I was hoping I was going to be one of those that just still runs around and yeah, that's not happening. I'm slowing down. I'm not happy about it at all.
Oh, my wife, she says every day, she says, "Oh, I've seen these people right up there and talk about they're growing old gracefully." She says, "Like hell I am. I'm fighting it all the way." She's a tenacious old gal. I'm telling you what.
Yeah.
She's tough, and she
Well,
keeps
it's kind of happening.
She keeps me in my place.
So as I'm going through, you did a video. You did a video with Canadian Drone Hub in February. And what was that comment that I found? See, I should have written the comment down that you said to him. And I don't have it. You said something that I was funny and I was going to give Roger a hard time about. And I don't see it. But was your talk to me about you having people and panel members come on to your channel? How many are you comfortable with having at one time?
Well, unfortunately, I can only have one at a time. I might be able to pull off two simply because I'd have to use because of the format that I have. I only have the license I have only allows me to have one call in on vMix. I could have others. I could do Google Hangout, but vMix only allows me to have one in unless I use Skype, and I don't get along with Skype. I don't like Skype. I think it's a waste of time and it's a pain in the butt.
I'm not crazy about it either.
I would have two or three people on, 4 or 5. It wouldn't bother me. I enjoy being on the panel with Roger. As you can tell, you've seen me. Actually, that's something I was going to ask you. Every time I get on, you bail. It's like, oh my God, it's like I run her off again. It's like, what? You scared? That scared of me?
No, I think what it is that you evidently sleep a little later in the day, and I usually have to be at work between either. I have a couple different schedules. One, I have to be at 9, 10, or 11, depending on which one I have to come on. I always try to get on Rogers, so I can have at least an hour with my guy in the mornings. So yeah, so when you come on, I'm like, oh, again, I gotta go. I get so mad. It's like lately Paul's been coming on, and I'm like, I gotta go. They don't, the other day we had some really great people coming in. You were one of them, and I had to take off. I hate that. I just hate that. But
Roger's been very kind to allow me to be on his channel, and I don't, there's times that it's like I do. I sleep in late, but
me too.
well, we stay up late. There's times if you see me on like at 7 o'clock in the morning, that's because I probably haven't been to sleep yet. You know, Judy's, if she has a bad night, sometimes she needs to talk, or I'm up and down with her a lot, and that's it too, So so yeah, I tend to sleep in. I usually get up anymore. I wake up now. Today I woke up late because stupid time change. I think that's the most ignorant thing we ever came up with in the world. Was
I hate that because I'm so out of sync now.
Yeah. Well, Mel says it. He said it to me, and I've heard the joke before. He said it to me. We were talking about it yesterday, and he says only our government would figure out that if you could cut off 6 inches off the top of the sheet and sew it on the bottom, it would make it a longer sheet. No, it's just he and I. For some reason, he and I mean, I've not even known him a year. We've only known each other like 7 months.
How does he come up with this stuff? I just don't know. I don't know if he sits aside and comes up with something, writes it down so he can say it later. He it just must just.
Well,
Now
he and I are both bouncing stuff off of each other like that, and sometimes it's the two of us trying to see who can.
Oh no, are you frozen? Don't freeze. Don't freeze. Am I frozen? Roger. Roger, if you're frozen, that means I'm frozen.
You're okay, Val. It's Lloyd's frozen.
I almost had a heart attack. Frozen, I start hitting buttons, and then none of us are doing good. Okay, Lloyd, you may have to re-go. Because now I can't even get, uh-oh. Yeah, I think he's frozen. That's okay, Lloyd. You can come back. Just come back.
Above and beyond, how you doing? Drone Trade on me. Metro Drones. UK Mall. Rick Holliber.
Metro Drones asked something.
Yeah.
I can't always answer in the chat, but let me just say, how do you add people? If you're in Hangouts, you just go to the top of the Hangouts and have a person, a mic, a camera, gear. Just hit on the person, and they'll say invite people in, and you can put their email in and just send it, and I'll send them in. Or you can copy the link and send it to them in their email. So it's not hard. Not hard.
Mike Kelly, how you doing? Metro Drones, hi.
So Mel and I need to talk about interviews. Now that I
Above and beyond, yeah, I'm always quiet. When it's Val's channel, I'm quiet. I turn off the mic. I don't interrupt.
He doesn't.
I was married before, you remember?
Babu, when I come see you, I'm going to all these remarks. Hold on. Say that one more time, because I'm going to be. Hey, Kim left. Where is he? Where is my love? Where is that? Kim.
Oh, I don't know. He's upstairs. I heard him banging around upstairs a while ago. I don't know. Probably taking a fit on his PlayStation or something.
I think that's a better way to say that. Oh. You were transporting cows? Don't send me one. No.
Oh, wow, Paul.
Paul?
Very nice of you again, Paul.
I'm going to have my ticket. Wow. You know where I'm putting all that right. Thank you, Paul. You are so sweet.
Okay.
Oh, Lloyd's back in the house.
I don't know what happened. My internet went to crap.
That's okay. Paul. So, Skip Miller, you don't have any content. Also, you started fixating on the wall, which we don't do here because we're not going to do that. So, all I'll say is just we don't used to talk politics. That's why nobody was saying too much about it. We were just having that conversation. So we have three rules in the house, right? No racist remarks, no politics, and no religion. So,
No foul language.
my chat.
Well, I broke all three of them.
Except for Lloyd said ass, but we're forgetting that part.
Do what? I missed something. What did you say?
You're okay. Oh my God. Oh my God. So Lloyd, we're coming on 20 minutes left. So I want to ask, and I'm thinking Mel will come into this, right? So does anyone have questions for the Grumpy Vlogger? Except for I do have one. Why did you choose Grumpy Vlogger?
Well, I've heard of the term vlogger, and I thought, well, I'm going to start doing vlogs, okay? And my grandkids always said I was a grumpy old fart. My kids say I'm a grumpy old fart. And do what? Okay, hang on. Okay. She's not used to the lag. I'm not back on in there yet, but I'm back on with you. So it's that 2-minute delay. She says, "Oh, they're back on in here," and I said, "I know, I'm back on with you." She says, "No, you're not." Well, it's the 2-minute delay between here and out there and back again. But it's the grumpy thing. My grandkids have always said I was a grumpy old fart. My kids have too. My boys always, "You're just a grumpy old fart." And I said, "Yeah, I am." So it just was a natural fit. So I came up with the name Grumpy Vlogger because I was going to vlog. That was my idea. So when I did the mouse thing.
So Mel is saying you need to mute the feed. You have an echo.
Again?
Yeah.
My feed.
I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to hurt your feelings.
No, my feed is muted.
Oh, so
all right.
So Don't Try to Me says the Grumpy Vlogger. Have you ever requested that people back away from your lawn?
Yeah. Yeah, little turds walking down my alley. I just shoot out a couple of them the other day. They go down there, my dogs start barking, and they, I threatened a little brat the other day. Yeah. Yep. Oh, and I'm not too embarrassed to say it either. Yeah. I can't check my headsets. I don't know what's going on, Mel. I've had this problem.
It goes away and then it comes back. And I was adjusting his mic, but I think maybe that's what I got to do again. Okay, we'll see.
Okay. How do I sound now?
Okay. That's good enough for the ending. Yeah, it's okay.
All right. Sorry, guys. I don't know. It's got to be something my internet is acting squirrely anyway, so I apologize.
You're sounding a lot better. You're sounding a lot better, though. You're okay now.
Okay.
And I don't know why, but I'm glad it's better. So let me see. Check your heads. Okay, I got to tell you, there's nothing harder than knowing you have an echo and you fix it, and people keep telling you have an echo because you know it and you still can't fix it.
I just tell them turn their headsets down,
Yeah.
Or listen with one ear and they'll only hear half the echo. I don't know.
So, and Drone Tread on Me says Windows 10 has external mic issues. No issue. Good. No, Mel, you're fine. You can help. It's just as funny because I had like 20 people telling me that, and it's when I first started, I didn't know how to control anything. And it was my fault it was doing that. Oh my gosh, I was almost shaking it. That's why I get so scared of OBS because If that
I
happens,
do want to address one thing, and that's drone obsessed Jerry Calverley. He wanted to know who his favorite high school club was. That would be the drone interest group. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, she just heard the part about me talk about running the kid off the lawn. And she says they pester the dogs. Yeah. Yes, dear. We've moved on.
But that's okay. You can ask anything you want.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with this sound. But yeah, the drone interest group is my favorite high school drone club. And Jerry's doing a great job with those guys, with those kids out there. I just think it's great that there's young people doing something besides, deciding, well, hey, I'm a nerd, okay, and I can really get with I can understand those kids because they're my kind of people. I've been a nerd all my life, and uh, I was always into electronics and playing. I used to take walkie-talkies, tear them apart. I used to try and extend I crawled up on my roof one time and I got my hold of some, my dad was ready to kill me. Got hold of some really good copper pipe. I cut it up and then I soldered it back together, and then I ran wire down and hooked it up to my home base station for my, so I could get further signal to talk to my friend that lived 4 blocks away on his walkie-talkie. So, I built my own antenna and strapped it to the roof, which made a lightning rod, and he wasn't too happy about that. But
Oh my God, Lloyd.
yeah, and the fact that I went up on the roof without
Right?
him knowing about it. I like Jerry's kids.
I got a question for Val. Val, did you get everything straightened up for that Teespring for CNY?
Did?
You did? Can you put the link in the chat?
I just lied. Everyone's gonna know. Yeah, I'll put it in. So, favorite, really, Lloyd? It's the only we know about.
Because I'll
I was being diplomatic, Mel. Shut up.
Oh my God. Okay, let me see if it'll let me go there now.
Well, I am putting something up for anybody who might be interested in spending $10 and getting a Grumpy Vlogger mug. There is my store. So
Yeah,
that's my what do they call that? Cheap plug, shameless plug. That's my shameless plug.
So because we rearranged it so the CNY drones can get the T-shirts the same price as we got them for our group.
Oh, cool.
So everybody can afford them.
Yep, that's it. Okay, I'll get ready to put it in. I just had to make sure it worked, guys, before I gave you the link. Okay, here we go. I'm going to type this in. So
I'm gonna bookmark it there.
what I did is I went in and I just lowered all the prices. I talked to Lewis about it. Basically, we just want you guys to be able to get it if you want it, right? So
Yeah.
And we made it lower than the Grumpy Vlogger. No, I don't know. Sorry.
Do what? Now I'm starting to pay attention to the chat. It's like, okay, you guys are doing business, so I'm going to
Ignore me.
Now this has been fun, and I appreciate you having me on here for sure, and I appreciate you letting me do a little shameless plug there. So I just started out, so I don't even know what the cups look like other than the picture they gave. I'm hoping they turn out. This one here is not the one that but this is my.
It's not working.
What?
Val, your link's not working.
Why not?
I don't know. Can't click on it.
Okay, so I don't know.
Well, I'll put it in tomorrow morning. You can straighten it out later. We'll put it in tomorrow morning.
Yeah, Roger, you may have to do it. You know how it is with women and technical stuff.
No, she does it better. She does it better than I do.
Mrs. Grumpy, get your stick.
I knew that would get a rise out of her. My wife's going to hear in a minute. My butt's going to be in trouble again.
Now.
But now this was, you asked about how this stuff progressed and stuff. I've been very blessed in the the
Yeah,
reason my
Joe.
channel has done what it has is because I've had so many people, you know, do things for me and help me to grow. Rick Halber. And by the way, Rick, I want to tell you that young man finally got his drone, the Tello that he won on my channel when we hit 500, and he did an unboxing video. So,
Sweet.
Uh,
so
your link didn't work again, Val. So just don't worry about it. Just work on it, and I'll put it up tomorrow.
Okay, so since Lloyd's link is working, make sure you go get his cup. So if you actually type in the thing, you'll get there from ours. But go to the Grumpy Vloggers.
Yeah.
I think that's all I can say. Go buy. It's not meant for us to sell a shirt today.
all I got's a coffee cup, folks, because that's my preferred thing. Is this one? Jim Hightower, Help at Home, had this made for me and sent to me for Christmas, and of course Jim Wallace had made this for me, and along with my sign, which I don't have in this studio set up. I have it in my regular studio set up on Monday nights. But yeah, it's just a bunch of guys have just, I don't know, for some reason they seem to like me and have been very, very, very kind to me. And I appreciate every.
I don't get a road sign. Everyone gets one. I never got one.
Maybe
Puppy dog ice now.
it might be maybe it's because you're a liberal. I don't know.
Yeah. You send me all crazy signs, you guys. It probably
just,
is.
just trying to guess, you know.
Oh yeah, I'm not sending her anything.
Oh, I did. I just Centroid just popped in there and said something, and it reminded me of something Mel brought up. And I need to ask you, Val, when are you going to do the Vegemite challenge?
Not.
Oh, come on.
So if I want to throw up, I'll
Did you see my video that I did? I think it was Friday's video that went up. That poor. She's like a granddaughter to me. Yeah,
because I look
yeah,
through so much. Yeah.
yeah. But I've got a new challenge coming out that I'm going to be doing. It still has to do with Vegemite, but I raised the game just a little bit. My friend Grant, who sent me that tube of crap, has challenged me a little further. So I'm going to raise my game just a little bit, and I'll have a new challenge coming up in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to videotape it. So
okay,
whether I lose my lunch or not.
Rick Oliver says, link up your channel, Lloyd, please. Put the link up on your channel.
Put the link up.
he has it. He has the link for the thing. Yeah. So guys, one thing you have to put in is new Canadian Drone Hub fundraiser with dashes between each one. Yeah, I couldn't do anything else because we ended the other one so I could lower the prices for you. So I'll figure it out. It worked for me. So it's just teesprings.com/new dash Canadian dash drone dash hubs dash fundraiser. I didn't add the fundraiser part.
Well, that's probably why, because it goes right straight to my t-shirts when you copy and paste it.
Yeah.
I just read what Centroid said. Oh, my channel link. What is my channel link?
Do the Grumpy Vlogger.
Yeah. Where's that channel link? Go there. All right, my channel.
Hey Ed, how you doing? Hi Ed.
Hey Ed, love my drones.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Aerial Landscapes, how you doing? Choo choo. We would talk to Germany from California on sideband when I was a kid. Oh, how cool. Say that 3 times fast now. Oh my God.
All right, here is my channel link, guys. And if you want, I do have a website, and it's just grumpyvlogger.info. But it basically just rolls you back around It has links to some other channels, and it has a link to that coffee cup on the, I think on the front page. I got it up there. So,
Oh yeah. Yeah, that I think that's why he does wear it with his name on it. That way
oh
he
yeah, yeah, I can remember who I am. That's
it's
it.
better than having it written in his underwear where he has to look.
Yeah, that's so embarrassing when you go into stores and you're sitting there trying to look back. Like, yeah, it doesn't work.
Who am I?
Just really embarrassing. And
Oh my
besides,
God.
Judy quit putting my name in my underwear years ago. She said I was big enough now I should be able to remember my name. So,
Yeah, just
although
remember.
I'm getting to the age I think I'm gonna get custom printed pins that have my name on them.
Oh, let me tell you, there's all kinds of wonderful things waiting for us as we get older.
Yeah, there are. Yes, there are. Yeah.
I would like to know when you will be an interviewee. I invited you to the hot seat on my channel sometime to be interviewed. Oh, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, I thought he meant Lloyd. I was going to go, ooh, I will set Lloyd up. You just let me know.
Well, Centroid Aerial has a new time slot. It's 7 o'clock Saturday night till 9 p.m.
Yeah, but I work on Saturdays and sometimes I don't get off in time. Can we do Thursday? Is he doing Thursday? Can we talk about Thursdays? Because I would love to do that.
Thanks, Metro Drones. I appreciate that. Yeah, my buddy Grant Smith, who has been designing my graphics for me since my first websites. I've known him. He lives in Adelaide, Australia, and he's the one who sent me that tube of Vegemite. He's the one who designed that specifically for me. He's actually working on a new one for Mel. He's working on a new logo for Mel. There we go. And so yeah, that's the. I said I'm going to put this on a coffee cup. He says, "Yeah, it's yours. You do with it what you want." So he's just a good friend. So
he does fantastic logos.
yeah, he threw those together. I told him the general idea of what I wanted, and he went and looked at what I had. And he says, I can do better than that. And I said, well, I know you can. That's what I'm telling you. What'd you do? And so he's really good at graphics design. I give him credit. So I told him I wanted to do it on a coffee cup. He says, go for it. So that's what I did. I thought, well, because I mean, this was one I did. This was my original Grumpy Vlogger one. I put that together, and then of course that's my famous Vegemite for my Vegemite video, and
oh my gosh. So
yeah.
do you get Teesprings to do all your stuff?
That's who's doing it now, because that's I just went on there and set it up as a permanent store, and they're going to do it all. I mean, all I got to do is sit back and promote it. So it's because Mel and I talked about that. I've looked at 100 different places, and I saw what Roger did with it, and I started looking into it, and I thought, I think I'm going to go with Teesprings. It just looks like an easier operation to set up a storefront with.
So Ricky Dub, that's just about the new one, but it has to have the Canadian Drone Hub. It has to have the dash and then fundraiser, because otherwise it takes us to.
It says mine's ended.
They got archived. That's when we didn't do.
Yeah.
Some of them, the prices were higher, or something
Yeah.
happened, and so I took it off. Yeah,
Okay.
I took that one off. So Teesprings wasn't as easy as I had anticipated, Lloyd.
Well, yeah, I could see. I had a little difficulty at first, and then I figured out what I wanted to do. My problem was I wanted to embed the picture and the link on my website, and I had to revert back to some old style, what they call HTML coding. You know, unfortunately, that's where Mel and I are both fairly good at that. We can still write. You know, we learned how to do web pages back when you had to design the whole thing by typing in all the code to make it do that. So,
All right.
yeah, it took me a minute or two to get it on my website, and to remember, like, how do I put that image in and how do I make that link? I had to remember the specific coding to make that block, and it's not exactly what I want, but it was close enough that it did the trick. So, but yeah, it's
So I want to say really quick and big hi to Michael McReynolds. How you doing, darling? I'm so happy. Oh, I just want to make sure I go before Russ. Yes, yes. We must go before Russ is on because I go on to Russ's vlog. And I'd hate to leave in the middle of the interview to say, okay, bye. I'm going to Turning About Northwest now.
just tell me when to get off here, and I'll go back in there and I'll lay down and take another nap.
All right, you're fine. You're just being so rude. I know. So, new FFA regulations, identification on the outside of the underwear.
There you go. Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna have my, well, you know, I'm to the point. I'll probably start getting my depends with my FAA number on them, so I'll know who I. You know, yeah. That's the thing. I'm not about self-deprecation. It does another $10 word, self-deprecation. Okay. I'm not against making fun of myself. It's I don't have a problem with it. That's why
I'm there with you. You know, I am to the point where I'm dreaming about donuts. So I'm hoping nobody's going to talk too much about them. I've been on keto now straight. I had to go back on it. I thought I could get off it, but evidently not. So for 7 days of no sugars and no carbs, no rice, no potato, no kind of carb, and except for actual vegetables. And so now I'm to the point where I'm going to sleep and I'm in the stores going, I think I can have this donut. It's like, what the hell?
you know.
Michael Kelly in the stream, and I thought, oh, I bet you Michael's making me dream of donuts.
One of the guys that follows me, AR Drone Nerd, and he's from Arkansas. He's in the Air Force, and he and I have talked several times, and he was talking about keto, and I'm going like, said I was just laughing. Anyways, I didn't know what keto was. I was just laughing at what Mark just wrote up there.
Donuts, I mean, I see all the stuff.
Yeah. Rectal cranial interdependent. Yeah, yeah. I call it rectal cranial inversion. Yeah. RCI. Yeah. But that's people that's got their heads. Well, anyways, you know where I'm talking. Yeah. I did a video on that once too. Yeah. So, but I didn't know what keto was, so I asked him, you know, what is keto? What are you talking about? You know, I thought maybe it was like, I was thinking keno, not keto. I'm thinking, what, you gambling? Right. You know, what are you gambling? You gambling for food, or what is this? You know, you're talking about keto, but you're always showing food. What's the big deal? What kind of diet lets you eat that much greasy? You know, like, are you kidding me? That can't be healthy. You know, it's just like anything else. It's like the Atkins diet. It's just all another way to sell more food. You know, the beef industry jumped onto the keto plan because they weren't selling enough beef. Now everybody's going to go back to being vegetarians. You know, and see, I got a problem with being vegetarians because that's associated with global warming. Being a vegetarian, you knew that, right, Val?
No, but I will tell you. Here's why I'm on keto. Right, I'm diabetic. And none of the meds are taking my numbers down for whatever the reason. They just aren't. So I'm starting numbness and stuff like that. And so this is what I have. And if I don't do this, then I'm going to get worse and worse and worse. So that's where I'm at. So that's what I'm doing.
Yeah,
so
and that's what he.
But if someone would like to send me money, here are my numbers: 3, 4, 10. Keno, right? How many numbers do I need to pick?
I don't know.
20, 40, 2. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was. Like I said, I thought it was Keno, but yeah, I figured, well, that's just another one of them, one of them fads that the liberals came up. What I was going to explain to you about vegetarianism, you thought I was going to let this one go by, but I ain't. It contributes to global warming, and this is my theory. And the government has spent the money to prove this. Okay, and I really say it comes out of India. That's where the big cause is, because they have sacred cows over there. They don't eat cows, right? They don't eat beef. They're vegetarians. Well, all those cows have got all that flatulent, and all them cow farts create methane, and all that methane goes up there and hovers up there in space, and now we've got global warming because of all that methane. Now, the U.S. government actually spent money to prove that cow farts cause global warming. So don't be a vegetarian. Do away with global warming. Eat lots of beef.
Hey, Mel, I saw that, and I did thank you. You're so sweet. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, Mel. I so appreciate it. Thank you for the super chat. So, yeah, let me tell you this. I think also what causes global warming is if you take all the drone guys and you put them all together. I'm sorry.
Well, if you notice, when we got a real active political season, everybody's fighting against everyone, all that hot air coming out of Washington, the temperatures start changing.
I'm just saying that is the biggest cause of global warming I've ever seen.
Anyways, I still like my methane theory.
Yeah.
I think.
Hey, Hack the Fat, how you doing, darling? Glad to see you in here. Yeah, I'm a firm believer that whatever helps you do what you need to do, keto, low carb, do what you want to do. And if it works and makes you healthy, do it. And I'll support you in it. Except for the, what is that diet I don't like? The no eating food at all one. Because I love food. I wouldn't be in this problem if I didn't love it.
I think they call that. I think that's the one they use over in the third world countries called starvation. Now, I don't do starvation diets.
Don't like that one.
Don't eat food diets. Okay, yeah, all right.
Oh, you're a lot of things, but sweet isn't one of them. Mel, you are sweet. You can't hide from me, darling. You can't hide from me. I see it.
For an old fart, he is a pretty nice guy.
Yeah, yes. I was vegan for 5 years, and I had my daughter when I was vegan and my youngest son when I was vegan. And I'll never forget the first day I gave my daughter a drumstick. She had to have been, about 4 years old. She started eating the bone and shaking. She was so happy to get meat. From that day on, we have not been vegan in my home.
For Judy's birthday, I bought her a purse, and I thought it was a leather purse. I know I paid leather price for it. And after she took all the stuff out of it and everything, there's a little tag with a little, one of the beaded chain things, And I pull it out, and it said vegan leather. And what
is vegan
the hell is vegan leather? It's either leather or it's not. They call it pleather in my day, or actually they call it naugahyde back.
Leather, right? That's what we call it.
But now it's called vegan leather. And of course, my friend Grant pointed out to me that all leather is vegan. Cows are not carnivores; they're vegetarians, so all leather is vegan. So I guess that's what they were trying to explain.
Oh yeah, maybe that's it. Because I gotta say, oh Paul, are you leaving? I was just gonna ask you in, you funny boy. Okay, love you, Paul. Talk to you later. I just got to talking and I didn't do it yet. Don't eat meat, but she sure. Oh God. Okay, drum naughty. Naughty. No naughtiness. Oh, I have my grandson doesn't read this. What you got going here? Oh.
Good night, Paul.
You see what happens when you go to leave? You leave me alone with. I'm just saying.
Oh, that's funny. I like that. I mean,
yeah,
that was just totally uncalled for. I'm sorry.
A vegan friend tried to sell me on vegan pizza. Said it tasted the same as the real thing. If you can imagine cardboard coated with awesome.
Well, now here's the thing: how do vegans know what it tastes like? How would they know what a real pizza tastes like? They've never tasted one. It's just.
Right?
Now, you can't trust anybody that don't eat meat. I'm sorry.
Send Paul a link just saying there, Val.
I sent it. You have to go on Google Hangouts to get to it. To go right to Google Hangouts and come in. Yeah, because we're at our time, but
Yeah.
I'm putting Lloyd in because he's not getting no grandpa nap. He's staying in. You don't get grandpa nap. Especially allowing jokes like that one that Don't Tread on Me did.
I didn't mean to laugh at that one so loud. It's just, it
Oh
was
my God,
funny.
I started laughing and I thought, no, Granny, no, I didn't laugh at that.
Oh,
She laughed and I thought, naughty Tread. That's terrible. Oh my God. Oh my
See,
God.
Mark agrees with me. Centroid, he agrees with me. Can't trust people that don't eat meat. You know, it's just. Well, here is a little known fact. All right, it takes. Here's some education for you about being vegan. Okay. All right, being a vegetarian. In order to be a vegetarian, you have to supplement it with a protein of some sort, because the reason religions use vegetarianism in their religions so much is because, I know we said no talk about religion, but this is a point of vegetarianism, is because you lower the mental capability of being able to make reasoning thought if you do not have enough protein in your body. If you notice people that lose protein, their reasoning ability starts slowing down. That's a lot of the problem with older people, is they don't process protein properly anymore. And when you like my senile dog that's walking around in circles and running into stuff. She's a poor old gal, anyways. She's 18 years old. She just walked into the fan. It's right in the middle of the floor, and she ran into it. So she can't see well. Okay, but anyways, uh, they. That's the reason a lot of these cults use vegetarianism as a way to control them, because your reasoning ability, without a certain amount of brain cells, are replenished more thoroughly with a higher protein diet. So, in order to eliminate some of the reasoning abilities, you lower the protein, thus creating making a person more malleable to your points of view. Okay, that's my study. That's my lecture on veganism, vegetarianism, and religion, all wrapped up in one.
So I'm going to say that when I was vegan, I didn't have trouble with reasoning. In fact, it was good. The only problem I had was I kept thinking about meat. That's the only trouble I had. Otherwise, I was good to
And
go.
there again, see, your body was craving craving
I don't
the
know, but I will tell you
protein.
this. I did really well until I got pregnant with my daughter. I know people who are vegan who do fine and they're great and all that. I say just do what you want to do. You know, that's why we live
Right,
here.
right.
Do what you want to do. But I was sneaking and getting like foot long hot dogs. I was getting what was it? Because we weren't eating a lot of fat either at that time. So I would get pizzas, and then yeah, terrible when I was pregnant. I just go get a steak.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, since what said is interesting, didn't know. Yeah, I did a study in college, and uh, on how different religions work. Of course, I did a lot of religious studies too. So because what you haven't touched on, and you may not have noticed, I'm actually an ordained minister. So, whoops,
oh,
just went
I'm
off the
glad
air.
you brought that up. Hey, Paul, I sent you a link to the email, so go there.
But
Go to your email. I sent you one.
I'm not your typical, obviously.
No, but you're
But
ordained minister for which
yeah,
religion?
I'm independent. I have been uh, I, pretty much I'm non-denominational. I'm just whatever, you know. Now I'm not. I don't belong. I'm not a what do they call them, Pastarinas or whatever. The flying spaghetti monster. No, I don't follow that church. But
Between spaghetti monster.
huh? Yeah, there's actually an ordained group. Uh, yeah, but okay, there. I'm gonna have to. But yeah, there's a group that follows the flying spaghetti monster called Pastarinis or something. I don't know what they're called. Look it up. It's just nutcase. But no,
Okay.
I am ordained, and I was a Pentecostal minister years ago. I was associate pastor of a couple of Assemblies of God churches back in the day. Unfortunately, they don't like divorce. You know, that's why
Mm.
they're also unhappy. I mean, I said that out loud. I didn't mean to.
Oh my God.
But
Okay, so if you're gonna send hate mail, send it to what's that
it's
address?
Lloyd. It's Lloyd at grumpyvlogger.info.
I
That's
got.
Lloyd with two L's.
I think it's.
No, I respect a lot of different religions, and but I'm just have a I'm ordained out of a church in West Virginia is
Are
where
you?
my ordination is. Yeah, yeah, I'm licensed and ordained. I can do weddings, funerals, and anything in between, but I just I have a strong faith in it. You know, a piece of paper doesn't make you a preacher. I'm not a practicing minister. I haven't been for years and years. Matter of fact, Judy said a long time ago, she says, I'll never be a preacher's wife. So you might as well give that dream up. So, you know, she's, but yeah. Oh, is it? Okay. Yeah.
Preachers' wives, they actually have some. Preachers actually have some really nice looking wives. I've been
Yeah.
watching shows.
Yeah, it was, we were, I was going to, yeah. Anyways, there we go. There's Paul Murray. Happy birthday. Oh, Roger, I forgot to wish you happy birthday one more time. I thought it was over at 2 o'clock this morning, but okay, we'll milk it for another day.
Happy birthday again, Roger.
Thank you.
Forgiven. A cursing
Yep.
priest. I go back to church. I get back.
Because, yeah, well, like I said, I'm not your typical preacher. I never have been. But I did. I studied for years. I read Greek, New Testament Greek,
Wow.
a little Hebrew. I've got a college degree or two. You know,
Nice.
I don't use them. I mean, they're just. I think my degree's stuck up in the attic somewhere collecting dust because I haven't used it. But it's just I'd rather be doing this stuff on YouTube than anything else. Which reminds me, being you've got Paul here to kind of take care of things, and I know you've got a show. There's another show coming up. I'm going to have to get off of here pretty quick because I need to go take care of Judy. And she's
Lloyd, I wanted to
Yes.
come on here and tell you, Lloyd, what a wonderful job you and Val did this evening of bearing your soul and everybody get to know the real Grumpy Vlogger, because you said that you wanted to get back to being more grumpy, but you are a really great guy with a big heart.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you, Paul. I appreciate it. The grumpy thing is, yeah, there's stuff I like to gripe about. I get shopping carts and man buns just piss me off. I don't know why they do. They just chap my cheeks. I mean, that and the illegal use of spandex. Oh my God. I don't have a problem with a person being large or women being large, but for God's sakes, dress it up. Don't dress it down. Don't put on spandex. That stuff breaks. You're going to get hurt. Is that what you were looking for there, Paul?
they should before they sell you spandex, they should be able to put you on a scale and see if you should be wearing spandex.
There ought to be a weight limit on the use of spandex. I agree. There was a lady yesterday. I'm going to talk about it in one of my videos, but oh my God, she stopped in front of me at Walmart. I went to Walmart yesterday. I hate going to Walmart. I just despise that place, but I had to go. She stopped just outside the door. Now, mind you, these are double sliding doors. These are the big Walmart doors, right? She blocked the whole entrance. I couldn't get around her. There was no space. She was, as far as my arms reached, she double doors. And it was wrapped in spandex. Come on, man. That was just
and usually the bigger they are, the brighter the color, like pink or chartreuse.
It was fortunately these were, God, if it had been in pink or something like that. you know,
Okay, well, I was going to wear my spandex tomorrow because, ooh,
Yeah, but
not
Val, you got the looks for it, baby.
I
you
don't
could probably pull it off. Well, yeah.
know
Hey.
Walmart. I kid you not.
I try to wear loose fitting shirts because, you know, I've got a pot belly that I make Santa Claus look like he's Mahatma Gandhi, you know, and it's my belly just sticks way out there. But I at least wear, you know, even if I wear my suspenders and my shirt's tucked in, I wear a jacket over it so that it doesn't protrude and show so badly. You know, you
Yeah.
got to have some. You got to disguise it. You know, it's okay to be portly or like the thing I like to say is salad bar challenge, but you know, but you got to dress it down. You know.
Well, I agree with
Dress it up.
Centroid. Centroid says, Paul, he said, don't need to scale to know you don't need spandex, LOL. But
Yeah.
yeah, it seems like they don't get it. They don't. I don't know. Maybe they want the attention. I don't know.
At
My
some
mother was a
point,
large
some
woman.
you do you. And
Yeah.
sometimes that's the spandex, 300 pounds put into spandex. Sometimes it's the bikini I saw on
A
the ship
thong.
on a cruise, you know. Sometimes
Oh my God. Judy and I, the first time we went down to Texas when we were going down there, we went down there. And of course, there's nothing but old people down there, and we were old, but we were not that old. I mean, we're talking, you know, there's nothing funnier than seeing a bunch of people celebrating Mardi Gras in a parade. They're all with their walkers and their wheelchairs and their their
oh
little carts,
cool. Oh
going
cool.
around, and they're all drunk, okay, and they're all in their 80s.
Yep.
And but we went out to the beach, and we went in, had to go in and use the restroom. Just as Judy went in, this lady come walking out. I swear to God, she was every bit of 350 pounds, and you could have seen that bikini on her because it was long. Oh my God. And her poor husband, I know why he was so skinny. She ate it all. This guy, he weighed about 95 pounds and was wearing a Speedo.
Cool.
I want to see an
I
80-year-old
am
man.
the speedo. I'm saying on I'm standing up for the girls, for the women. No
Yeah.
speedo, guys. No speedo.
No, I agree. This little skinny old guy was wearing a Speedo. And, you know, and it was a small Speedo, but I think even it was baggy on him. But still, you know,
Right.
but
Yeah.
his wife,
Let it all hang out.
yeah, you could have put 5 of him behind her and still not seen him. I mean, my God, it was just and she and I were just, you know, the thing was is we were trying to keep a straight face to get the hell out of there before we burst out laughing because and going, oh my God, I mean, it's a sight you will not unsee. I'm telling you. You know,
Well, I got to tell you, more and more people are going to the two pieces and the thinner and thinner bathing suits. When I've been on these cruises, it's just everybody's just okay with everything now. And I got to say, I applaud women who actually are so secure because you see a lot of thin gals are too afraid to wear those bathing suits. So they need to get a little more, you know.
well, I think what happened is we suddenly lost
Century,
all. Yeah, I saw that. Yes, I think you can if you're on in the place we were staying at. No, because we're talking. There were 5,000 travel trailers in. This was a community, and they were all old people that'd been, you know, they're winter Texans is what they are. So
yeah.
you know, yeah, but yeah, that's a fun thing to go on an adventure. You want to go see where all the old folks hang out in the wintertime. You're going to see some sights you don't want to that you'll never unsee too. But yeah, it was definitely an interesting time down there. But yeah, I think we lost something somewhere, and I blame it on my generation because all of us old hippies raised our kids to be, you know, a bunch
Hippies.
of, yeah, and a bunch of, they're not even good hippies. They're, you know, they're copycat hippies, you know, and so they don't understand what our point was back then. And we no longer have a dress code. We no longer have we're no longer concerned about, we just don't care, you know, and
Right.
each generation gets to where not only do they not, when you quit caring about your persona and the way you behave, then you quit caring you don't care about yourself, you certainly aren't going to care about anybody else. And once you get to that point, then society no longer will be functioning, and we're getting real close to that, because and it's my generation's fault. I mean, I take full blame for it. We're the ones who started this crap. We're the ones who need to deal with it.
I don't
And
know. I had a parent drive past me when I think I was 14. I was wearing hip huckers and a tube top. She told me go home and get some clothes on. I said, I do have clothes on. Woohoo!
yeah, well, that's it.
I was like, my mother would walk out like that.
But you're from, you're probably at the very bottom backside of the baby generation, or the baby booms, or the beginning of, I don't know, whatever friggin'
No,
generation the
I'm
next one is.
60, so I was born in 59.
All right, so you're at the end of the baby boom. You're down at the bottom edge of the baby boom, and it's our group from and they're right. Once we quit caring about how we dress, and then we
How we
start
look.
caring how we look and how we behave, then suddenly we are. I mean, good God, these kids nowadays. I got grandkids. I got a couple grandsons in prison, and they can stay there because they're worthless human beings as far as I'm concerned.
Nature
love
beauty.
them.
Why?
Yeah, but I think once we quit caring about how we behaved and how we acted, society started falling down, and now we've got. That's why it's such a divisive country, because there's a bunch of us old farts still trying to hang on and fighting for. I don't want it to be what it used to be, but I'd like it to be at least. I want us to have our brains, our intelligence, the technology. I don't want to do away with that stuff, but I certainly would like to do away with the divisiveness and the hatred and and for God's sakes, the bad use of spandex and man buns. I mean, there's got to be a line somewhere.
Well, I do
Right.
think spandex across all sizes should be gone. Sorry.
Lloyd, don't you think that it's basically from the time they get into school and all the way through, they're not teaching them to respect themselves enough to worry about how they're presenting themselves to the world?
Well, that's it. They don't teach. I mean, Centroid says, there used to be a time when people dressed up to get on planes. I mean, here's an example. I used to get up on Sunday mornings and walk to church. Okay, it was a block up from our house. I dressed up and I walked to church. Okay, I didn't get in the car to drive the. Mom didn't put Lotus in the car to drive the block up. We walked up there, and we dressed up. Now people go to church in shorts and flip flops in the summertime. Didn't happen in my day. If you can't respect yourself and you can't respect God's house, you ain't gonna respect anything else. That's why I'm the grumpy vlogger. So I say crap like that, and it's the one of the things that my history teacher told me was, he said, at some point we have to give up certain inalienable rights in order to have a civilized society. And that's what we've lost, is civilized. We've lost the word civilized, because now people think they can do just whatever they want, like the inalienable right to just go out and shoot your neighbor because his dog pooped on your front yard. Not that I wouldn't mind a couple of my neighbors being shot, but I wouldn't do it because that's not civilized. I gave up that right to live in a civilized society, not to shoot that little turd that was going up, down, it's just not civilized. And once we quit being civilized, we have, so many people killed in Chicago because, it's not a gun control thing. It's a total lack of respect for life, simple,
It's when all the planets only circle you,
yeah.
right?
It's
that mentality now. It's like borderline personality, but spread throughout society. Now everything's about me and only about me. I don't have to think about anybody else. I think we have a predominance of that. I don't know that we didn't before. I don't know if it's older, so I just notice it more. But boy, oh boy, I notice it in all ages.
oh yeah, it's
Not yeah, it is. My generation has a lot of garbage going on.
It started with our generation.
Yeah,
It really started with that. I mean, you look at guys that you look at the guys that are from the Korean War era. Those gentlemen, you see them up at the VA hospital, they've got their boots polished, they got their pressed jeans on, they've got their nice shirts on. They're just going to the VA hospital. Why do they need to dress up? Because that's the way they were brought up. But then you get to the Vietnam era, and these guys are a bunch of hippies with their, don't look like they've had a bath in 6 months, and just let's see how raggedy we can look because we're protesting the world. That's civilization.
And here I was going to say, bring back Woodstock.
Yeah, well, hey, there's nothing wrong with Woodstock. It was a good time.
That was okay. That one was okay. That one.
Well, it definitely would be interesting. Woodstock with mobility carts and wheelchairs. That would be neat.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I've preached on enough, and I need to get off here and
go take care of the wife.
Go take care of the wife. Val, thank you so much for having me on.
Lloyd, thank you so much.
Lloyd, you're a hero to a lot of people, and never forget that.
Well, I appreciate that.
Grumpy Vlogger, thank you for lending us Lloyd.
She'll hear it by the time I get in there. So, guys, Val, thank you so much for having me on it. And this was not painful at all, but we were talking about my favorite subject, me. That's the problem with society right there.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Thanks. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. You guys were great. Val, fantastic. Anytime we can get together like this, I enjoy it. Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye, Lloyd.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Lloyd.
Okay.
He's a great guy.
That was so cool. That was so cool.
Yep. Roger's not feeling well, he says.
Yeah. Well, it's not bad. I'm not bad, but not going to go on live tonight, though.
Yeah.
I was going to go on live, but I'm going to get an early sleep tonight.
Sure. I understand that. I mean, Val, if you want me to kick out of here and you guys want to close it, I mean, it's up to you. I'll stay as long as you need me, Val. I'm here for you. This angelic face is here for you.
You know what? I want you to hang on, hangouts. Don't go away. You hear me?
Oh, okay.
Stay right there, and I am say goodnight to everyone. But don't you buzz off like you did last time. Stay there. I will station to your house.
Yes, that's right. I'll be there Thursday night for sure. Yeah.
Right. Now I'm going to see you before then anyway, right? Because then I'm going to talk to you about Tuesday and what you're doing Tuesday at 7 Centroid. So consider coming on Tuesday. So I need to get back from you soon because I'll get you and then you can do me, right? Okay, that sounded wrong, but you know what I meant.
I know.
I meant. You guys clean that up. Okay.
I agree with Roger.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying, we live in a literal world, and you said it.
So,
and before you leave, everyone, please type in the chat, happy birthday to Roger one last time. This is his birthday week. So type in happy birthday to Roger, please.
Oh, my God.
And hit the like button, too, for Val.
Well, not too many guys are typing. That's okay.
okay, you got that Centroid 7 Tuesday for you to come on my show this Tuesday. I'll be watching all your vids. Don't listen to the dirty women. I know. They're being naughty. Yeah.
We didn't. Roger, did you say anything? I didn't say anything.
I say nothing.
We're angelic.
Okay, guys.
Thank you, everybody, for saying happy birthday.
I hope you understood what I was saying, Centroid.
Oh, wait a minute. I got one request, Val, here. From Drone Tread on Me.
Going to go check.
He's been asking for it all night.
Why is what?
Hi, Val. How are you tonight? I miss you guys. You did a great job. I watched the whole thing, Val. I did. Bye.
Bye, sex puppet.
Yeah, Val. Centroid saying, Val's life, you interviewing me. on
Tuesday. And you're interviewing me on Thursday. Okay, hold on. I'm going to send you a link. Hey, Roger, I sent you that link. Can you send it to Centroid since you have it? I sent it on Gmail.
that kind of link won't work. Val, take it off of the.
No. I sent it to you in an email when I sent Paul his.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, because he's going to send you the link so we can chat.
Teeny Weeny wants to know if she can come to the link too.
Oh, sure. Night, Ricky Dove. Above and beyond. Have a nice night. Don't tread on me. Bad boy, but you have a good night. Nature's Beauty, thank you so much for coming in. Jerry Calvary, thank you. Rick Halber, Art Co., thank you for coming in. Flying with Stan, thank you for just hanging out all night with us. I so appreciate it. Mason Kaiser, thank you. Of course, Ricky Dove, Above and Beyond. Rick Halber, oh, we got so many, I can't even. Midwest Metro Drones. Let's see, Love My Drones. Ed. We had Night Train in earlier, and again, always such a pleasure to see Night Train.
I sent you the link, Centroid.
And legwork, so fun. I so appreciate it. Yeah, you guys.
Right. Really Mark, I thought you were our friend. You see what he said about us there, Roger?
Who?
What? Who?
Centroid says Val's life. Don't listen to the dirty old men.
I took my bath today.
There's your happy birthdays are popping up too there, Roger.
See, I'm trying to get all the happy birthdays in for Roger. So can someone still come in after we've gotten off?
Yeah.
Okay, Centroid, so I'm waiting on you, darling. Night, everyone. Have a great night. Oh, spandex everywhere. Feel like a diabetic.
You'd laugh. You see how many people go by here on spandexes on bikes here. You'd laugh.
Yeah, I'm going to go buy spandex now, and I'm wearing it for Roger.
Oh, my God.
There you go.
Roger got my spandex on. Right.
Oh, wait a minute. Teeny Weeny wants to say hi to Mark.
Oh my God.
I'm so sorry, Centroid. I'm so sorry.
Hi, Mark. How are you tonight? I'm just so happy. I'm so excited to see you here. Bye.
Okay, guys. We'll see ya. Love you.